Faded, 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 faded. I'm faded, 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 faded. I'm a saint, but I sin. I checked in the game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins and they say time heal. Mine still felt like it was yesterday. I was moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spent some night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Coming back, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last, it's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean. Temporary feelings mixed with temporary pleasures. All these temporary moments and these temporary treasures. Temporary circumstances to temporary measures. Temporary friends and even temporary schedules. Temporary smiles and temporary goals. Temporary women sliding on temporary poles. Temporary comments and temporary trolls. I just pray that God bless me. Ain't no temporary souls. I'm a saint, but I sin. I checked in the game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins and they say time heal. Mine still felt like it was yesterday. I was moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spent some night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Coming back, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last, it's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean. What we doing, chat? What we doing, chat? Y'all ready? Y'all locked? Y'all ready? Y'all locked?
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube. Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Oh, man. Double tap the screen, shut alive out. What we doing tonight, chat? Double tap the screen, shut alive out. What we doing tonight, chat? We got an action-packed episode. I want to know, did the unthinkable happen? Rumors of Netanyahu death circulate, and Trump commits 5,000 Marines. We got mixed reports. Some reports say 2,500. Others has raised it up to 5,000. So it's looking like we got boots going on the ground. Chad, we got an action-packed episode, man. We back to the regular lineup. We still working through the shadow ban. It is what it is. We're going to talk about Ted Cruz calling Christ is King anti-Semitic, which is crazy. I don't know what's up with Ted Cruz. We got this guy talking about what America would look like if gas hits 200 per barrel. Oh, did y'all hear about the security guard that was working for Jasmine Crockett? He just had a standoff with the SWAT and police, and they ended up blowing him down, like unaliving him. Crazy work. Also, we got this clip above me, which is a miscellaneous clip. It's a woman. She going off. She saying the church tried to charge her $800 for her aunt's funeral. So I want to know how y'all feel about the church charging her $800 for her aunt's funeral after she's been a member. Her and her husband have been a member for 50 years, paid tithes every Sunday, and they wanted $800 for their funeral. So we're gonna get into that. Also, what is Cash Patel doing? They're talking about Cash Patel's talking about the FBI is about to get trained with some UFC fighters. I don't know if that's to boost morale or what. I don't know. I don't know why the FBI guys are getting trained by some damn UFC fighters. I don't know, Chad. It behooves me. Also, we're gonna talk about Mom Nani wanting $30 minimum wage, and that $30 minimum wage hasn't made its way to city council over there in New York City. So we'll get into that as well. The ex-Marine got his arm broken. Oh, the synagogue attack. We can cover the synagogue attack. I seen that they had a drill, like prep drill for the synagogue attack some months ago, and then the same synagogue is attacked. Crazy. Also, we got a Qatari spokesperson speaking out on the Iranian airstrikes, man. A Qatari spokesperson speaking out on those Iranian airstrikes. If we have time, we'll get to that. But yeah, we're gonna get into the main topic too. Netanyahu, man. Reports are coming out that Netanyahu may no longer be with us, or he may be severely injured. Man, they're saying that Netanyahu hasn't made an appearance in over 6 days. People are saying that video that they put out of Netanyahu speaking was AI. Some people claim to see 6 fingers. I didn't see 6 fingers, Chad. I didn't. But I did see the clip where they slowed it down to where it looked like his damn teeth was gone. In one picture, it's like some teeth was gone over here, and as the video progressed, it's like he has a full bottom set of teeth. So I'm sitting here like, wow, that might actually be AI. So we're gonna get into that, man. See what's going on with Netanyahu and if he is still alive. Double tap the screen, share the live out. We're gonna get straight into it. I want to know what y'all think about this lady right here, man. We're gonna hear her story. She says her uncle passed away and the church wants $800 to put on the funeral. Who's in the wrong here, Chad?
Oh, baby, let me tell y'all what just happened. So I just went up on the pastor, his wife, the deacon, the church, the whole congregation, if they had something to say. Do you understand me? So me and my cousin, we get to the church to plan, to let them know how we want to plan the service or whatnot. Now, mind you, my auntie and uncle been members of this church for over 55 years. They pay their tithes faithfully. So the pastor turns around and say, that's going to be $800. $800 for what, pastor? He said, well...
Okay, so right here, pause it right here. She's saying her aunt and uncle, they have been members of the congregation for 55 years, paid tithes. Now she's saying she's going to the church like, hey, what are we going to do? We're trying to plan the funeral. My family's going through it. The pastor's like, all right, we could put the funeral on for you. We just need $800. So at this point, how do you react, chat? Do you hear the pastor out? Press 1 if you want to hear the pastor out and see what that $800 is for. Press 2 if now's not the time for that. The church should be looking out for the family in need. Let's see, chat. 1 or 2, man. 1 or 2.
You know that in order for us to preach this service and do a nice homegoing, the church got to cook. And I got to pay my ushers to clean up. And then I got to pay some of my deacons to come. I said, you got to pay them to come to a homegoing for your faithful members? I said, let me ask you something. Where the money at when they pay their tithes every Sunday? Where they money at when they pay for pastor anniversary? Where they money at when they paid for church anniversary? Where they money at when you did fundraisers? Where they money at whenever you did these cookings and all this extra stuff? Where they money at when you needed something for your light bill? Where they money at when you...
Listen to that, man. 55 years. Think about how much they contributed to this church over 55 years. If they paid tithes every Sunday, if they helped with the fundraisers, Pastor Appreciation Day, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, sending the pastor off to, different places. And they saying that, hey, man, we need this one final payment of $800 to put you on a homegoing celebration. Chat, I'm not going to lie, it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy, man. It's a little crazy. Did y'all see the pastor that is telling the church that they have to submit their tax returns to see if they've been holding out? He said, forget about daycare, forget about all of that. You need to pay them tithes. So he wants to see the tax returns. What are you going to do, chat, if you go to church and your pastor's like, hey, look, I need to see those tax returns to make sure you giving your 10%.
You needed something for your rent. Where they money at when your mama and your daddy passed? And the last time I checked, my auntie did the cooking and my uncle was running around here trying to help get you a suit. These folks been members of your church since they was little kids. And they was watching you grow up. And you finna sit here and tell me your money hungry ass finna charge us to have a service here? I believe the hell not. I say it's mighty funny how you praise people and you love people when they sit in front of you. I say because you get up there and you say everything that you know they want to hear. You don't preach nothing about God. All you preach about is the tithes and what somebody gonna do in building this church and building your house, getting you a brand new car. Little Tommy need to go to school. Your wife need a new hairdo or a wig. Your daughter needs surgery. And I need this and I need that. And Sister Johnson over there, she having problems in her home. And Sister Sarah over there, she having trouble walking, and I need y'all to raise some money for her medical bills, and I need for y'all to just pray, and I need some new pulpits for the church, and I need some new paintings on the wall, and I need this, and I need that, and I want this, and I want that. But you can't even help. You can't even do her service. You can't even do his service for free. They done paid their way. They done paid their way for the church. They done paid their service. They done paid for the funeral. They done paid for the casket. They done paid for the clothes. They done paid for the food. They done did that. Every Sunday they come to church. Every Bible study. Every prayer meeting. Every time y'all want to go across the country, they right there. They can't even participate in stuff at home with their own family because they worried about being with the pastor. I wish these old folks knew how money hungry and greedy some of these damn pastors is. I told myself, I tell you what, we'll have a service in the front yard for free. Kiss my ass.
I know she didn't tell them folks that. Chat, are y'all with the woman or y'all with the church, man? Does it cost, $800? The pastor wanted $800 to put on the funeral. He said he got to pay the ushers. He got to get food. He has to get all of that. So $800, is that a fair price for the church to host a funeral of their members that have been there for 55 years? Is $800 asking too much? Is it too little, or is it just right, chat? Too much, too little, or just right to ask for the family to put on a homegoing service? That's crazy. We finna get into this guy right here. He's talking about what it's gonna look like if we hit $200 oil. He's saying what it's gonna look like if we hit $200
a barrel.
oil.
Here's what life would look like for America's poorest citizens. No, I am not an energy analyst. I'm just a person who reads a lot from energy analysts, but I do think I have a good handle on what it is that they're all saying in their own research as the consequences of if it hit $200 a barrel. Here we go. Okay, again, not an analyst, just somebody who reads a lot. One, I mean, if you think you're paying a lot for gas now, like, you don't even know what you're in for. Okay, so at $200 a barrel, it looks like that the bounds of what you could expect the average American to pay for gas is $6.50 to upwards of like almost $8 a gallon. And that's like using all zip codes together. If you're in a place like California, I mean, it could go as high as $10 or $11 a gallon, which is just not sustainable for America's like working poor. That means that, just so we're clear, like the average household in America spends something like $3,000-ish a year just on gas. This would push it up to like $6,500 a year. I mean, which is just, I mean, for considering that the median wages in the United States like are barely $60,000 a year, I mean, that's not sustainable. And that the reason it's not sustainable is because like the lowest quintile of income earners in the United States already spend like 10% of their yearly income on gas, like on getting to work and driving around. So like if you then double it, I mean, you're talking about a fifth of these people's income going to just going to work.
Chat, I haven't ridden my motorcycle faithfully probably in 10 years, Chad. I have a motorcycle. It got less than 2,000 miles on it. The motorcycle's damn near brand new. I got it when I was like 16. Brand new motorcycle still. I'm finna have to pull it out, Chad. I'm finna have to pull it out, man. So when y'all see me on my little cruiser, you know what I'm saying, riding around my little Honda, man, with my damn what the motorcycle cap, the little half shell cap on and shit, helmet, just mind your business, man. $6 a gallon, man. I'm finna have to pull the bike out, Chad. I got kids now. That's one reason I don't ride my bike. It's because I have kids and I don't, I got kids, man. So that's something that I think about when I do get on my bike. But I'm finna have to faithfully ride my motorcycle. Like, what the hell is going on? $6 a gallon. I'm gonna have to pull it out, Chad. I'm sorry. Baby mama gonna be pissed that I'm on that motorcycle, but it just is what it is.
Not even counting things like car notes existing, debt existing, not sustainable. Not sustainable at all, like at all, okay? Also, just like heating costs would become insane. Rural households would be stuck in this like heat or eat situation because currently, like, whether or not you're using propane or if you're using like heating oil, like the current state is that like rural poor people spend something like 3-ish% of their income like heating their houses in the winter. And this would, again, it would double. It would go close to like 6 to 7%. Which is insane. I mean, like, you're talking about heating costs like hitting $3,000 a season in America's like poorest zip codes, which, like, I don't know if you've I don't know if you like know how math works, but like for people who are earning maybe like $40,000 a year, I mean, like, or $50,000 a year, like, and have all these other debts on top of them. Like, it's not possible to put these people in that position without them choosing to just like not eat versus like freeze to death in their homes. And you don't think it'll happen? Okay. Like, if we hit $2 a barrel, like that is the position they will be in the winter, because you know that like energy companies are not going to like do them a solid. With that in mind too, I mean, just like if you think that we're paying a lot for.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Chad. I got it's all electric over here, man. I had a few houses that had some gas, and I'm not gonna lie, Chad. I'm kind of glad I don't got a gas bill right now. That shit's about to get crazy. Winter time.
Electricity, I mean, Jesus Christ. Okay, so like natural gas already generates 40% of U.S. electricity, and if oil prices go to $200 a barrel, then what we would see is that like the energy burden that low income houses already have, which is already like 2 to 3 times higher than the energy burden of like wealthy households, I mean, it'll just jump to where the point where like the burden would get to the point where it's like 4 to 5 times higher for the poor. Because again, the average like electricity bills for poor households will spike.
See, this is the thing. T. Rugi, you says Iran says who cares? I care. A lot of people care because they're already putting mines in the Strait of Hormuz, and they're already blowing up oil tankers. So whether it affects us here or not, in reality, they're going to make it affect us. So whether we're getting oil from over there, whether it matters over there or not, in reality, the way that it's set up over here, they're going to F us. They're going to bang us in the rear end. Gas prices have already shot up $1 in like 10 days, man. Yeah, so what? Who cares about what Iran says? We got Venezuela. We got our own shit. Trump's building a $300 billion oil refinery in down there in the Gulf of America, right? But guess what? That's a reason. And we see that these people, these money hungry, greedy ass tycoons, all they need is a reason. Oh, oil prices is going up by the barrel. It might not affect us, but so what? We'll just push this off on the consumers. We'll just quadruple our fucking profits while we can. So yes, it affects us. Whether it is supposed to or not, it's going to.
Spike into the like upper bounds of like hundreds of dollars, like, and in some high income zip codes, right, where there's still working poor people, you could see it still stay like below $1,000, but like it would not be uncommon in some of these places to see like $700, $800 like electricity bills. I mean, which is just insane, man. I mean, like, when you factor all this together, it's like.
Also, this is gonna play into the World War III narrative, because if that strait stays closed, Japan says that they have about 7 to 8 months of oil and they'll be done. They're getting 75% of their oil from there. China's getting like 40%. India's getting like 60%. So this is going to pull a lot of countries out of the woodwork. So it might not just matter to the average American, but on a geopolitical scale, oh, this is fucking big, bro. This is big. A lot of people might die behind this shit, man. A lot of people might die, bro.
It would basically be the price of going to work would almost be too high for some people. Like, working poor in America already spend like 6 or 7% of their income just like getting to work, versus like 4% of like middle income and high income workers. And I just think that when you look at $200 a barrel, some of the in some zip codes, like some energy analysts say that like the burden of commuting could get as high as like 15% of some people's income. I mean, which is just, I mean, it's just insane. I mean, it's just fucking insane. Like, knowing that
they're about to force the 15-minute cities on you. You're not gonna be able to travel, man. They're about to force the 15-minute cities, man. If y'all are saying it doesn't matter, the oil shouldn't be going up, like, exactly. They're forcing this shit on us. They're doubling, tripling, quadrupling profits, and your ass is gonna have to sit at home. You're not gonna be going to Walmart. Your ass gonna go to the Dollar General. Now you see why the Dollar General put a Dollar General every 5 miles. Not sponsored, man. This is the start of that shit, man. You're just gonna get so used to not going anywhere but the Dollar General because it costs too fucking much. You can't go to Target. You can't go to Walmart. That shit's out on the highway, man. Carry your ass to the Dollar General, man, in the little market, man. Get what you need and go home.
72% of the working poor drive to work. you cannot then impose on them what is essentially a punishment tax for going to work of 15% of their income. I mean, it's just, if you're a working poor person who doesn't have access to public transit, like, you would literally be stuck in this position of, like, it costs me more to go to work than it's worth for me to take home. And mind you, I am not saying all this because this is some...
It's crazy. Everybody gonna be looking for a damn per diem job, man. It's like, damn, is that what's about to go in on the negotiating table, chat? When these people are trying to get a new jobs, are we gonna have to negotiate for our damn gas mileage, our damn package? Like, hey, look, man, it costs me a lot to get up here. I'm gonna need some per diem, man, like 60 a day, man. It's like 60. Chat, if I go out there and try to fill my truck up right now, that thing won't probably stop until it gets to like 115, man. And we're only at like a little over $3, man. You talking about $6, you talking about $240 to fill up my truck, man. Hey, look, man, we need a package, bro. We need a package. Y'all gotta put this shit together nice for me. No plug, we won't put it together nice for you. We'll just get AI to do it for you. For us. It's just crazy.
Harebrained idea in my head. Iran said this today. They said, prepare for $200 a barrel of oil.
Hit the like button, chat.
And where is the opposition party? Where are they? Where is the opposition party? Who?
You said more unemployed people would like much to see. I like it when people at work watching me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I really like. Don't get me wrong. If y'all on y'all free time, I like y'all watching me too. But the people who are at work watching, oh, they're locked in, chat. They got me in their head buds, man. And they're not even looking at their phone to swipe up, man. They just rocking out, listening to Plug and his damn reactions, running his mouth. Oh, they're locked in. I'm talking about 6-8 hours locked in. Oh, Plug, you helped me get through the shift, man. That's the shit I like to hear. When I used to do those 8-12 hour lives, man, people will rock out with me through their whole damn shift. Real talk.
Who wants to stand up for working people? Supposedly, they want to make their big case in 2028 that they're the opposite of this. Where the fuck are they? You know, instead I have Senator Blumenthal coming out of the hearings being like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Nobody has a plan.
All right, yeah, so I did see the Blumenthal. Is that the one that they're talking about where he had this, where is he? Where he left the interview. Where was the one where he left the interview? I forgot. And right after that, we get notice that they're gonna put boots on the ground. Well, send 2,500 Marines over there, 2,500 to 5,000. I forgot who was doing that interview. We'll go check it out in a minute because they said he got a call during the middle of the interview and had to go to the White House situation room or whatever for a 2-hour damn call. And after that, he comes out talking about he's willing to commit his son to the war. Crazy.
How out of touch are they? It's a question we try to answer here every day. So stay with me on this one. This is another one of those perplexing calls. As director of the FBI, and according to the...
I say that as somebody who actually quite likes fighting in hand-to-hand combat. I spent the better part of the decade as an amateur boxer in Chicago competing. But when FBI agents are training to fight, they're doing so with a purpose. They're doing so to effect arrests or to end a fraught situation. And when they are engaged in a fight, points are entered.
Like, how much embarrassment can he tolerate at a time when he's taken the country to war? And I wonder...
All right, well, this is what I was watching that for because Kash Patel is getting the UFC cage fighters to train the FBI agents at Quantico. Now, I'm not going to sit here and listen to their reaction. I'm just going to give my thoughts and opinions. Kash Patel, you're not reading the room again. Like, every time we bring up Kash Patel, it's like, you're just not reading the room, man. Like, I guess because Trump has the UFC coming to the White House, Dana White's talking about he's giving out all 85,000 tickets and shit. Now Kash Patel got, fired to his ass, and he wants to train the FBI agents with the UFC fighters at Quantico. Is it a life-changing experience? Probably not. Is it a once-in-a-lifetime experience? Probably so. So, I mean, what do you want me to say here? I mean, I guess it's cool, raise morale or something, but why is this even a thing? What are we doing? We're talking about sending 2,500 to 5,000 Marines to the Middle East, man. We just had a refueling plane go down. Lost 6 more Americans. What are we talking about training some UFC shit, bro? Like, is this gonna be ongoing training? Is this like a little 30-minute session? What's going on? What? This shit is crazy, man. Let's move to the Mom Donnie shit, man. The folk Cash Patel pissed me off. Let's move to the Mom Donnie shit. Mom Donnie's trying to get $30 per hour minimum wage in New York City. I believe it's like 17 right now. He's trying to push for $30 minimum wage. How are y'all feeling about $30 minimum wage?
Again, Mayor Mamdani moving closer to making his.
That's crazy when she said, here we Zoe again, and they calling him Zoran Mamdani because, like, when you say Zoe, that's like, damn near, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Listen, chat, do y'all think that's sustainable or not? Do y'all think that's sustainable or not? $30 minimum wage. Push 1 in the chat if y'all think $30 minimum wage is sustainable in New York City. Press 2 if you do not think $30 minimum wage is sustainable in New York City. Chat, double tap the screen, shut a live out. Man, we got to get the likes up.
His progressive dream a reality. His campaign promise to make New York City home to the nation's highest minimum wage is now headed to City Council for approval. If passed, minimum wage would nearly double in the Big Apple by 2030, jumping from $17 an hour today to $30 an hour. Mom and pop shops say that with already sky-high rent and rising costs, this pay hike could be the final straw and force them to cut jobs. Larry Kudlow, explain why minimum wage does, or I'm assuming in your opinion, does not work.
Well, yeah, grocery stores are probably going to be effed over, for real, because they're working on super thin margins anyway. They're working on like 3 to 10% margins. You know, it's razor thin. So for the grocery stores, yeah, they might just be effed over, bro. They're probably going to have to let a lot of people just go home. Now, the big chains, they'll be all right. But that might be the move. That might be the move to move these people out. It's you're damn near gonna have to go back to the family-owned businesses, chat. Gonna have to get your family in there and just make it a family affair. Otherwise, it's not gonna be sustainable. 30 an hour, man. Moms and pop store, crazy word.
I think he should have gone right to 50.
What a cheapskate.
You know what I mean? I mean, why stop at 30?
Yeah, if you're gonna do it.
I mean,
Why not?
That's what I would have done. But I mean, look, these guys are working off margins that are very small, urban stores. I mean, except for some of the fancy European stores. But your basic mom and pop store doesn't have much of a profit margin. So you're going to have to pay labor.
It's like 3 to 10%. That's what I'm saying, Chad. It's like 3 to 10%. Even when you go to like a cost plus or something, they'll be like, you'll pay cost plus 10%. You know what I'm saying? So like that's standard, 3 to 10%, man. Shit is crazy.
It's hard to they're not going to have the productivity gains to keep unit labor costs down and justify it. I mean, you should let the market should set the wage price. The market should set the clearing price of whatever goods or services you're buying. It's just crazy stuff. It's socialist stuff, but
no,
you know.
I don't remember
It fascinates
that,
me, Brian.
XX. I don't remember state-run grocery stores. I don't think I've ever stepped foot in a state-run grocery store that I knew of. Now I'm in my mid-30s, you know, early 30s, not mid, but I'm in my early 30s. So I don't know, XX. I don't think I've ever stepped into a state-owned grocery store.
Is that the messaging works. People hear higher wage and they think, yes, power to the people, but they don't understand the ripple effects.
So you said, why would it ruin business? Don't they need customers? Okay, so let's just keep the numbers round, Chad. Let's just say that for purpose of this conversation, let me pull my calculator out. Calculator. All right. So let's say the store has 10 employees, right? Each employee works 40 hours a week. 10 employees, 40 hours a week, right? That's 400 hours that they're going to have to pay for. At $17
an hour, they're coming out at 6,800. Now let's do that same 400 hours that they're paying for times 30. Now that's going to be 12,000. So overnight, their payroll will go from 6,800 to 12,000 overnight. Yeah, that's not sustainable.
And if McDonald's has to pay $30 an hour instead of 17, the price of my hamburger also doubles because they can't afford labor costs unless they raise income. And then I get paid $30 an hour, but then the price of the burger that I want to buy has also doubled.
Yeah, they're almost doubling payroll overnight. Now, some major retailers, they'll be able to, weather it. They'll be able to weather it. It really won't affect them. But the moms and pop stores, they can't handle that, bro. I'm just being honest with you. No matter what we think, they're not going to be able to. Payroll doubling, that shit's not sustainable out of nowhere. Because city council went down there and said minimum wage. That shit's not sustainable for small business, man. Shit's not sustainable at all. Doubling payroll is crazy. Doubling.
But that messaging doesn't sound as good, and so people don't understand that.
I feel like this appeals to the NYU student who's taken like 2 quasi-Marxist economics classes and they think this works.
What do you mean they're not going to double it out of nowhere? Even if they give them a 6-month heads up, a 1-year heads up, that's out of nowhere. If Mamdani didn't win, this shit wouldn't even be on the table. So it's really out of nowhere. A lot of these stores are probably barely fucking staying open right now. Let's just be honest here. A lot of these stores are probably on their last leg. If they raise the if they raise the rent on the lease when the lease is coming up, they don't even know what they're going to do to renew the lease. A lot of these people, they're just trying to get by. Now you want a double payroll? It sounds good in theory, but motherfuckers finna get fired, bruh. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Motherfuckers finna get fired, man. If whoever's making the hiring and firing decisions, man, you better hope they like you, man, because your ass getting fired for that 30 hour. I'm just gonna be all the way honest with you. As a business owner, thinking of taking feelings and removing feelings from that shit, it's gonna be so easy for them to fire you. So justified. We cannot sustain this shit, man. Your ass going home. I'm sorry.
They haven't tested it in the real world, so they're all in on Zoran. But, we talk about, okay, what is this going to do? And we have the AI conversation. Will AI kill jobs or create jobs? And I think it's going to create jobs overall. But the area where I do think it will team up with policy and kill jobs is this. Yes, there are moms and pops that may not be able to employ AI, but then you've got that whole layer of retail where it's actually like national or multinational retail, and they have operations here. And they see this, and they've got 10 companies with an AI solution breathing down their neck saying, if you don't want to pay $30 an hour, I've got a way for you to do inventory and stocking and tracking and customer service, and you don't need any people. And AI is going to get a toehold, and I don't blame AI for doing this, but that their salespeople are calling these companies right now and saying, we can help you avoid the cost of this, and those companies are going to say 100%. Yes. And Zoran's going to blame AI, and he's going to want to regulate AI, and the problem isn't AI, it's you.
Jackie,
No. Okay, so I'm not going to put it all on Mamdani. Yes, Mamdani is going to push a lot of these jobs right into the hands of AI and the timeline is accelerated, especially with this $30 an hour. But it was going to happen anyway. Now, there were going to be some stores that were probably going to hold out. A lot of stores, they adopt things slowly. They're really slow to adoption. They don't like to change their POS systems. They don't like to update their security systems. They don't like to repave the lines in the parking lot. So there are a lot of slow movers in this type of industry. But Zoran doing it at $30 is going to make those slow movers adjust, and they're going to adjust rather quickly. When you hear that your payroll will double, you're going to do everything you can to cut costs. You're going to bring in Lean, Six Sigma. If you don't need it, it has to fucking go, man. And a lot of these people are going to be expendable, man. A lot of them.
So in the traditional scenario that you're describing with McDonald's, this shows that Zohran knows nothing about economics. I mean, I don't know how many more examples of that we actually need to know that he knows nothing.
That's the thing. You said, who's going to buy the products if they fire everyone for AI? We're already in the system. See, Green, you haven't been over here for a while, but we're already in the system. We lease our phones, lease the cars, car note, phone note, the TV on a firm. They even starting where you can fucking use Klarna, excuse my language, you can use Klarna for DoorDash and stuff now. It's own nothing and be happy. It's here already. We're already into the own nothing and be happy system, but it happens so subtly that we just don't realize we're already in it. I'm on a fucking plan right now where I upgrade every 2 years. Soon as my phone is about to get paid off, guess what they're gonna do? Push another one in my face. And it's my choice at that point. Hey, do I want to get a new phone with a better camera so I can stream? My bill's gonna stay the same. But technically, I'm still paying on a phone. Paying on a car. Paying on a house. Paying on electronics, iPad, Apple Watch, if you want one. We're already in the system. We're here. It's just so subtle that people don't want to believe we're already here.
But you raise the prices and you actually make the affordability, you raise the wages, the prices go up, you make the affordability crisis worse. But this is really interesting what you're...
You said if you have no money, how are you paying? You're going to find a way. That's what it is. You're going to be able to get that $14 a week to keep your phone. You're going to be able to get the little $32 here and there. That's what I'm saying. They're going to piece you out, man. You're going to be making a choice. You're going to be making choices. Piecing you out, man.
You're talking about the AI solution sort of around it. In either scenario, it's a terrible scenario because if everybody's using AI, then you're killing jobs and people have no income. Yeah. So they're not actually sitting and thinking through this. But I go back to some of our sort of spitballing around about this in the beginning, which is that if we have to test some of these ridiculous scenarios to understand how stupid they actually are, then that's what we're in for.
Well, can I just raise one point?
Chad, press 1 if the last phone that you bought, the last cell phone you bought, you paid for outright. Some of you will. Some of you don't care. You go get whatever's clever as long as it can ring, pick up, and dial. Some of you want the latest and greatest. Press 1 if you paid cash, if you paid for your phone outright. Press 2 if you did not pay for your phone outright. I didn't. I'm a 2. I didn't pay for my phone outright. I'm on a plan. Let's just see. How many people paid for their phones outright?
Something missing from this. The concept of profits, okay, which is alien to socialists. But if you're profitable, let's say your average labor cost is $10, and you might be profitable. All right, you might go to 15, might go to 20, but at some point you hit the break-even point, okay? The marginal cost exceeds the marginal revenue, so you have to fire them.
Right.
All right. Without profits, you have to lay off workers.
Or close your doors, right? I mean,
or just go out of business altogether. Yeah. I don't think that Mandami or his socialist pals, I mean, it's not an election.
So see, we're already about split. We're already about split with the phones. Now let's do something else. What about the vehicle? The last vehicle you bought, did you pay cash for the vehicle or did you have a car note or a lease? Press 1 if you paid cash for the last vehicle you bought. Press 2 if you have a car note. I ain't gonna say the last vehicle. We go any vehicle, man. Press 1 if you paid cash for your vehicle. Press 2 and bought it outright. Press 2 if you had a car note or a lease. I'm finna show y'all. I got some cash cards, but shit, I got a truck note right now as well. So I'm in the system. Yeah, I got a cash card. Y'all like my old schools, but I'm in the system. Don't leave up out of here, chat. Double tap the screen, shut a live out.
about that.
Right. They're not even thinking.
Profit is evil to them. It's evidence of evil, actually.
You were but if you don't make money, you can't stay in business.
You were talking about what will be the reality check that will stop it. It's going to be businesses closing down. We were talking during the break about how wonderful eating is in New York City, and not only at people's houses, but at these wonderful restaurants. They have, to be specific, I looked it up, they have a profit margin of 2 to 6%.
Yes.
Most restaurants, 2 to 6%. And they want to double the labor costs. Labor is about 30 to 40% of the cost of having a restaurant. So they want to double. This would just put about half of the restaurants in New York out of business. Flat. There's a wonderful guy named Zane Tankel, who owned more Applebee's in New York area than anybody else. He owned 40 Applebee's. We used to have him on a lot. He's a wonderful guy. He said, to your point, Brian, this is what this will first do is to get people to immediately switch to all the electronic, all the AI devices that they could possibly get their hands on. Fire is...
All right, that's enough of that, man. I'm glad y'all giving me some feedback, but yeah, I just wanted to show y'all how we're already in the system. You know, whether we want to believe we're in the system or not, we're already in the system, man. We're already in the system. You know how they come in there and then they offer you, oh, you want this Apple Watch? Do you want this tablet? You can get a iPad and an Apple Watch and some AirPods, and we'll only put another $45 per month on your bill. You're like, okay, cool. Now you financing a Apple Watch, the iPhone, the iPad, and the damn AirPods. Now you got 4 things that you don't own, but you walk around every day feeling like you own them, which eventually you will be paid off, you know, year, 2 years, however long it is, but we're already into that system.
Dr. Majid, thank you so much for talking to us. This is a very tense time for your country. Give us
this
a
is a
sense of
Qatari
what is
spokesperson
in this moment as we look at nearly 2 full weeks of conflict that has not only engulfed the region, but also your country.
You know, we've been warning since 2023 and the breakout of this escalation in the region that escalation left unchecked will result in a regional war. And what we have right now is, for all intents and purposes, a regional war. I mean, you're talking about Iran targeting 7 countries in the past 2 weeks. We were talking about a level of destruction to infrastructure, to civilian facilities in the region that is also very, very serious. And again, left unchecked, this will mean catastrophic results for the region and beyond. Just a few moments ago, you know, you heard probably the alarms going on your phones with the alerts of an attack happening, and we just got the all clear minutes ago. This is now a daily occurrence. It happens a number of times a day. You know, I would have never expected for my daughters to live in a situation where the missiles would be overhead almost constantly throughout the day, then that we would fear.
Chad, don't they wear them turbans because it's real hot over there, man, and they keep their head cool? They're right, Chad. That's why they wear them turbans, right?
For the safety of our families as a result.
Well, that's a really important point. In the time that we've been here, we've had alarms go off on our phone. We've heard the sound of loud bangs of missile intercepts. I know Doha quite well. It is a prosperous place. It is a place where many families from around the world choose to live their lives. Has that been shattered by this?
You know, I pride myself, and we pride ourselves on the fact that you go about your life in Doha today almost normally. People are in the streets. They're going about their daily lives, and that would not be possible if it wasn't for the people in our military who have done a tremendous job in thwarting all of these attacks against our country. You know, we've had more than 150 missiles thrown at us from the Iranian side. Most of them were intercepted.
Oh, what the hell is he talking about? He just asked him, is the dream over with over there? It's all bad, man. It's not looking too safe. This man talking about, no, it's safe. People going about their regular day. We only had like 150 missiles launched at us. What the fuck is he talking about, bro? Shit's over with, man. Ain't nobody trying to come up. People went over there to vacation and live a luxurious, rich lifestyle that they wasn't getting at home, man. They went over there to play rich for a little while, man, have a little fun, get peed and pooped on, whatever them girls was doing, and come home, right? That shit's pretty much done, man. Shit's done. 150 missiles, man. Ain't no freaky deaky stuff going on over there with 150 missiles coming down. Let's be honest.
Extreme majority of them without making any damage to our facilities or injuries to our people. We had very minimal injuries in Qatar, thankfully, up to this point, because of the work that has been done to our military, which we must applaud their level of preparedness and readiness for these attacks. But that said, when we are awakened at 4 a.m.
Chat, hit the like button.
Phones, when our kids are crying as they anticipate, and hear the loud bangs that are coming in, this is not a situation that we are used to. The Gulf was always an oasis of stability in a very turbulent neighborhood. And that reality right now is in question because of the current escalation. Of course, we hope that this escalation ends very soon. We hope that there is a return to diplomacy. And we have said very clearly that the Iranians have made these unprovoked attacks on our countries that have helped through the mediation process, countries that have stood up and said that their lands will not be used against any of its neighbors. But regardless of that, we were attacked. Our civilian infrastructure were attacked. Our people were put in harm's way. And these attacks persist without any notion of an end to them. Although it is very clear that we are not part of this war. We were dragged into this war by the Iranian decision to target the whole region.
Qatar, like many countries across the Gulf, has been attacked by Iran. Will Qatar attack Iran?
Qatar is a peaceful country, and we have always been very clear. We will never be a threat to any of our neighbors. We are a country that has, it's known internationally for being a peacemaker, a peace facilitator. When His Highness the Emir was asked, how would you describe Qatar in 2022, he said, energy provider and peace facilitator.
I'm not gonna lie, that sound pussy, bro. I'm just gonna keep it all the way honest. You just sat here and told me that you got hit, your country got hit with 150 missiles and it was an oasis and all of this. Now you talking about you just gonna get hit in the mouth and not do shit. I mean, okay. All right.
We are not a country that's going to attack anybody, but we are also a country that knows how to defend itself, that has proven its ability to defend itself, and we will continue to deter these attacks, and we will do everything that is possible to make sure that our country is not put in harm's way like this, using all means, military or diplomatic. And of course, we would love to see this region without any war. We would love to see everybody sitting down on the negotiation table and finding.
Oh, that's why he's coming out, because Iran said that they're about to attack Oracle, NVIDIA, IBM, and all of those other countries in Tel Aviv, Qatar, and Dubai. So that's why he's coming out like, damn, civilian infrastructure. Yeah, that money on. They finna get to that money on.
But if it is war that the other party wants, if we have attacks coming into our country, we will defend ourselves.
How long can Qatar sustain this for? Missile defenses are finite. Can Qatar continue to live like this for weeks, possibly months?
Our military has taken all the contingencies possible and made sure that in every eventuality there's a scenario to deal with it. And up to this point, we have said very clearly our reserves are ample. We are able to continue defending our country. And you have seen, there was absolutely
Chat, hit the like button.
Reduction in the way that we defend ourselves from the projectiles coming in and the missiles coming in. We are able, we have the plans for it, we have the system for it, and we have the readiness for it. But obviously, war is not something you can live with as a region forever. We need an end to this. We need an end to this system.
I'm not gonna lie, Chad, I never wanted to go to the Middle East. There's not one place in the Middle East I've ever said I wanted to go, Chad. Drop where y'all would like to visit in the Middle East. I'll go first. Nowhere.
As soon as possible. The effect is not only when it comes to hard security and our, the missiles coming into our country. We're talking here also about the effect on our energy production, the effect on our industrial output. Qatar produces 20% of the international LNG supply. we had to exercise force majeure. And
I don't even want to go to Egypt anymore. They done knocked all the noses off to everything over there, man. They taking King Tutankhamun and body around the whole globe. I mean, shit. I don't even want to go to Egypt anymore.
Stop production after the facilities in Ras Laffan were targeted.
Ethiopia. Now, what I want to go to Ethiopia? H-Buster, I'm going to pass on that trip, man. You can go to Ethiopia, go see the Ark of the Covenant and all that. They're not going to let you get nowhere near it, man. So I don't need to go to Ethiopia either. Dubai, Carlos, I knew you was a freak dog. Of course you want to go to Dubai. You're a freak dog. XX said Jerusalem, man. Listen, I'm gonna leave Jerusalem alone right now, man. Jerusalem hot, man. I'm gonna tell you, some shit going on in the Middle East. Jerusalem probably one of the first places some shit gonna go on at, man. I'm gonna leave Jerusalem alone too, man.
They continue to be targeted, by the way.
Turkey, man. Listen, I ain't trying to listen. Look, Chad. If I think I just deal with the cartels and shit, man. If I go get some veneers or something, man, Turkey's not gonna be it, man. I'm just gonna have to go to Mexico, man. Deal with the cartels, man. Fuck it.
By
Syria and Lebanon, I damn sure don't want to go to Syria or Lebanon. For what, man? Picture plug in Syria, Chad. Come on, man. That shit don't even sound right.
Iranian missiles. The same is for our industrial complex in Said. Qatar produces around 10% of international urea supply, around 30% of helium supply. All of these numbers are very important for international economy today. The effects of a prolonged conflict in this region will have a profound impact on industry, on energy bills of individuals all around the world, but also on aviation. 350 million passengers go through just 3 airports in our region, including Hamad International Airport. So in all of these fields,
yeah, H-Buster, I come to the UK, man. I'll link with H-Buster and them in the UK. But listen, H-Buster, you gotta have some shit in order, man. I know how it go down over there, man. So I'm gonna need some I can't get stabbed up in the UK now. You know what I'm saying? I heard about how it goes down over there, man. Y'all got some gangs and everything. I heard y'all got the Bloods and Crips over there in the UK now, man. So you have to keep me together, H-Buster. We can't lose plug on a damn UK excursion, man. We can't do that.
With logistics, with the shipping and cargo, all of them will be affected.
You said plug should go boots on the ground in Iran. Listen, man, Iran ain't gonna play with me, Chad. I'm too unserious to go to Iran, Chad. I'm just gonna be all the way honest with y'all, man. They gonna have me locked up, strung the fuck up somewhere. Y'all gonna be talking about go get plug. I'll be a hostage, bro. Like, look at me, Chad. Like, let's be honest, Chad. Let's be honest. They send me to the Middle East right now. I will go around and be a hostage. Thank you, Lala. I will go around and be a hostage, bro. Straight up, man. Cause listen, man, I will be right now in the middle of a holy war. I'm from the Bible Belt, chat. Y'all want me to go over there in the middle of a holy war between the Muslims and the Jews, bro? Is that what y'all want me to do, man? I'm gonna go around and be a hostage over there, chat. What are we talking about, man? I'm gonna be a hostage, bro.
Strategically, if this continues. Right now, the effects are being dealt with. We are taking, as I said, all the contingencies possible, all the precautions possible, and working with our clients and working with our trading partners to make sure that this does not affect them strategically. But obviously, this cannot go on forever.
Qatar has seen at one point a main LNG plant go offline. It's obviously back online. But when you consider the fact that Qatar has seen its energy infrastructure attacked, it's seen its airspaces severely impacted.
Hey, talking about, and they don't need you, you coward. Listen, man, I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. What the fuck am I gonna go to Iran and Qatar and do? Butt naked? You act like I'm damn military or something, like they gonna drop me off in the middle of Iran with an M4 or something, bro. No, I'm gonna be a civilian, man. So guess what? I'm gonna go over there butt booty naked. No weapons, no nothing. Probably won't even have a full fucking bottle of water. And now you talking about what? Make it make sense. You take your ass over there, man. Get on you a United Emirates flight and go over there and do some boots on the ground shit, man. You go do it, man. Get somebody else to do it, man. Plug's not it, bro. Get somebody else to do it. What the fuck is he talking about? Talking about you coward. Like, bro, are they gonna let me get off the plane with something? Man, these folks over here with rockets. ARs, fucking kamikaze bombs and shit, and you want me to just hop my black ass off the plane empty-handed. Just empty-handed. Going to the war zone, plug. Motherfuckers is crazy, bro.
Shipments of Qatari energy through the Strait of Hormuz has been badly impacted. This has hugely impacted your economy. How do you move forward from this?
Well, first of all, let me say it very clearly. We remain committed to our trading partners. We remain committed to our clients. We have proven throughout our history that we will never miss a shipment as long as we are able to deliver that shipment. The only reason for what is happening right now is the fact that this war has included targeting our facilities in Ras Laffan and the facilities in Said when it comes to other products. We are, of course,
right, y'all. People don't be, man. The comments, bro. Sometimes these people don't think shit through, man. You coward. You don't go over there, man. Go over there and do what? And do what? With what? Who the fuck is gonna arm plug? Like right now, let's be real. If we drop down in Iran or Israel or anywhere over there, who the fuck gonna give me some fire? Now y'all want me on the international list. Now I'm on the international list, man. I touch down anywhere in the Middle East asking for the shit I need to secure myself. Now I'm on the international watch list, man. I'm dealing with some folks I ain't supposed to be dealing with, man. Y'all want me to just walk into oblivion, bro. Just say you want me to get blew the fuck up, bro. Just say it.
Energy sector, including Qatar Energy, the biggest LNG producer in the world today, is working around the clock to make sure that we are working around this issue. But the bedrock of the situation is, as long as there is a war that includes missiles coming into our country, missiles coming, affecting our facilities and attacking our facilities, the priority for us is the safety of the people who work in these facilities, the safety of the people of Qatar from any major threat. And we've seen, in the region, in other countries where these facilities, when they were operational and they were targeted, the level of impact on the industry, but also the human cost of these attacks was increased, and we are not ready to put anybody in harm's way for economic.
You said roughly 70-some% of the youth are ineligible for the draft. Why? Man, listen, why? I'm truly asking why. I haven't heard that. What I did hear though is that we might be getting ready to do a draft, and that's why that guy that was doing that Face of the Nation interview ended up leaving out and going in that room for 2 hours, and he came back and said he would be ready to commit his son to this war. I'm not with that, but I want to know, why do you think 70% of the people are ineligible? It's also a viral meme going around saying that the men with no kids should be drafted first. How do y'all feel about that? They're saying draft the men with no kids first. Press 1 if you agree with that. Press 2 if you do not agree with that.
Again, and therefore we've taken a very clear decision on this. The priority right now is in protecting our sovereignty, protecting our people and the residents, including people from 140 nationalities who choose to
hit the like button, chat.
Home, protecting them from attacks, and then of course looking towards how we can solve the economic question behind this war.
There's a huge diplomatic component here. Qatar has long been one of the region's key negotiators, including with Iran. Is there a diplomatic path in front of us?
What we learned in our history of doing mediations and peace facilitation is that there is always a chance for mediation, and that all conflicts end on a negotiation table. Total annihilation is not part of human history. Now, it was.
No, I don't know, bro. Because that's not true, though. When he says all conflicts end at the negotiating table, it's like, who fucking table is it, though? Like, is it really a negotiating table when it's like, do this or it won't be any more of you? Is that really negotiations, chat? Or is that just what we're calling it, man? I don't think it's a lot of negotiating going on, bro.
Was at one point. It should never come back again.
Yeah, 1 was agree. If you press 1, you agree that the childless men should get drafted first. 2, if you do not agree that the childless men should be drafted first.
Total annihilation is not possible when you're talking here about a country with 90 million people, like Iran, with a proud history. the people in Iran right now and the people in this side of the Gulf are suffering from the same escalation that is taking place. Civilians, people who have nothing to do with these wars, should not be part of those who are paying the cost for war. And therefore, the only way out of this is a diplomatic way. And doing that would entail, of course, first of all, stopping the attacks on our countries. And we've said it very clearly. For us to play a role, for anybody in the region to play a role, the first thing that needs to happen is for the Iranians to stop attacking countries in an unprovoked way that have nothing.
All right, man, that's enough of that. We done heard this guy. We kind of get his spiel. They ain't trying to do shit. All right, Chad. I think this is Ted Cruz, man. Ted Cruz done lost his damn mind, Chad. I'm just gonna be all the way honest with you. I'm sorry. You might be upset with me, but Ted Cruz done lost his damn mind.
Online in a way that is meant to say, screw you, Jew. It is being used, although it is being used online in a way that is meant to say, screw you, Jew. It is being used in a context very directly to say, I hate Jews, and that's almost an online code word. Christ is king is, I hate the Jew. Is that your...
Now, he's trying to say Christ is king is code for I hate the Jews, Chad. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Man, what the fuck is Ted Cruz smoking, man? Like, I don't know, man. Where is he at in, where is Ted Cruz at in Texas or Florida, Texas? Man, I don't know, man. Ted Cruz, I don't know, man. Whatever he's smoking, man, they need to get him off of that shit, man, because they never gave me the memo that Christ is king means I hate the Jays, man. That shit's crazy, bro. It's like now it makes so much sense. Like when the rappers were saying that they were having to sign deals and Kais and that was like, he turned down the $1 billion deal because they told him he couldn't say Jesus anymore. And these rappers are saying in their contracts they can't mention Jesus and nothing. And now we got Ted Cruz talking about Christ is king is code for you hate the jet. What the fuck is going on, bro? Like Ted Cruz, what?
View, or why do you say that? Because you see the people who are saying it, and they're saying it in that context. They're saying Jews are horrible, good, like they're attacking Jews, and they end with Christ is king, to make it sound like somehow there's...
Okay, now when he says it like that, there may be a faction of people that put it all together. It may be, but I just don't see that by far and large, man.
There's a biblical basis for attacking Jews. Look, Jesus was a Jew. And by the way, the twisted theology that says Jews are Christ killers, and that's been used to justify anti-Semitism, to justify persecution and murder. Look, as I read the Gospels, Jesus went to the cross willingly. He made the choice to go to the cross, and it was not the Jews who killed Jesus. It was me. It was you. Look, Jesus died for our sins because man is fallen, and the wages of sin is death. And Jesus took on the punishment that you deserve and I deserve so that we could be covered in his blood and receive salvation, not through works, not through what we do, but through the gift of God.
I'm gonna just let Ted Cruz have that one. We'll talk about it tonight in the Discord chat. After this episode, well, actually, we're gonna do the Discord live tonight. But after this episode, I'm gonna open up the Discord so everybody can join in and we can have a debate. Talk about this. We're gonna watch this Tucker Carlson clip and then we'll get in the Discord so we can hear about that. I know y'all got a lot to say about that. Ted Cruz out his damn mind.
I don't know what the case is that this is good for the United States. No one's even attempting to make that case. So instead they say, well, you hate Jews. Ben Shapiro being like, wagging his eyebrows at you and telling you you're an anti-Semite. It doesn't matter what he says. If killing an 86-year-old religious leader didn't cause a spontaneous creation of a pro-Western government, which was apparently Ted Cruz's plan, if that didn't work, what would happen? Well, China would take over. And so anyone who didn't think that through is not qualified to lead anything. I almost want to run for president just to debate Ted Cruz.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Tucker Carlson, man, they finna fuck around try to get you up out of here, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Tucker Carlson let his nuts hang to the floor with that one, didn't he? I almost want to run for president just to debate Ted Cruz, man. Listen, is this what we're about to see, Chad? I'm making the prediction, bro. We're about to see Tucker Carlson make a damn push, bro, and we're gonna see Nick Fuentes put the groypers behind him. Watch, cause Nick's over there saying that it can't be JD Vance, it can't be anybody in the establishment. We need somebody new. Nick's gonna fuck around and put the groypers behind Tucker Carlson. Watch, bro, that shit's gonna be wild, bro.
Going to war is the gravest decision a leader can make. It's a decision which, by design, causes death at scale. It reduces the quality of life for your own people, at least for a while, and it inevitably unleashes chaos, both economic and political, which is inherently not within your control. That's why most leaders carefully construct a case for war based on the costs and the rewards.
What's up, Dorsey?
Amid the suffering, they see great benefit in the national interest. Could it expand our territory or our control? Does it eliminate a genuine threat, which makes our country safer? Will it make us more powerful in our own geographic neighborhood? Is it popular with our people? Does it strengthen our national unity and pride? For President Trump right now, the answer to all these questions is no. For Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who says he's dreamed of this for 40 years.
Oh, I have to show y'all this too, Chad. Before we get into this, this is I seen a clip where they were saying Netanyahu video was AI because he had 6 fingers. I didn't see the 6 fingers, chat, but I did see this though. Now this is from that same video, chat. This is from the same video, chat. Now look, they're saying Netanyahu hasn't been seen in They're saying Netanyahu hasn't been seen in 6 days, but they put this video out. We know that we've seen some of Trump's videos that have looked AI, you know what I'm saying? Him, talking and shit. They're saying that this is AI Netanyahu. And they're saying if Netanyahu is actually injured or dead, it'll cause stocks to plummet. It'll be a lot of shit going on. So right now, we're waiting to see we're actually waiting to see Netanyahu, because you see right here, they're saying that, boom, they're saying his teeth drop. Y'all see his teeth drop? Y'all see right here when it comes on, right? When it comes on, you don't see the teeth right there. Boom. Now you see he has a full mouth of teeth, right? You see he got a full row of teeth. Now watch them just fall again like they not there. Boom, they gone again. Now they there. Now they gone. So they saying that this is the AI messing up. They saying they got really good AI, but it's little subtle differences like this, like his teeth being there and then not being there. All right, Chad, I just wanted to show y'all that before we got into that Tucker Carlson. So yeah, we're still waiting to see Netanyahu actually in the flesh, man. They're waiting to see Netanyahu pop out for real, man. Rumors are circulating that he could be injured or he could no longer be with us, but this is one of the reasons. I seen the part where they said he had 6 fingers, and I zoomed in, I looked at it. It didn't look like 6 fingers to me. It didn't. But when I saw this teeth thing, I was like, I don't know, it might be something to those teeth, bro. It might be something to those teeth, bro.
Prices are coming down very substantially. Oil will be coming down. That's just a matter of war. That happens you can almost predict it. I would say it went up a little bit less than we thought. It's going to come down more than anybody.
XO 6450, you said, bruh, stop saying chat. No, because I'm talking to my chat. You mind your damn business. How about that, man? If you don't want to be involved in chat and shit, I'll address you directly. 60, where the hell he go? 6540. If you don't want to be part of the chat, get the fuck out, man. It is what it is.
Everybody understands.
As it stands, Iran has only tightened its grip on the Strait of Hormuz. It's now exporting more of its own oil than before the war began, while making it more expensive for everybody else. And if the US always planned to take control, to conquer the strait and leave Israel to police it, why did nobody say that? Trump was crystal clear about the unashamedly selfish benefits of raiding Venezuela. He's made a similar case about Greenland, whether you agree with it or not. So why the muddled messaging now? It's impossible to disconnect it from the bigger picture about his final term, the defense of MAGA's legacy and the battle for its future. The so-called MAGA war was red hot long before the...
Nah, if Netanyahu is gone, it actually is a big deal. I'm not gonna lie, it is a big deal because that's who Trump's dealing directly with. Hamas and Hezbollah, whoever, they're gonna claim that as a win, a victory. You know, Israel doesn't have like a direct successor. Like, under Israeli law, if the prime minister dies in office, the role does not automatically pass to a vice premier. Israel doesn't have a vice premier. The cabinet would appoint an acting prime minister within the government. They say likely a senior Likud party member or a coalition partner, such as the defense minister or foreign minister. The interim leader will serve until new elections or a Knesset vote forms a new government. The transition could happen quickly within days to maintain stability, but it might expose coalition fractures. Netanyahu's current government is a right-wing alliance. His death could trigger infighting or collapse. So yeah, that's what they're saying. That's how it would go. They would have to put an interim prime minister in there because they don't have like a direct successor.
Trump will be well aware that one side is extremely skeptical about Israel because it's a direct threat to a very literal interpretation of America first. Fix this country before sending bombs to fix everybody else's.
Hit the like button. What's
the
up,
other
Steven?
side would rather you didn't talk about Israel at all. That is to express unconditional support. Israel, they believe, is a key overseas territory in a new American empire which rules the world with muscle. That battle of ideas is going nowhere fast, which is why presidential hopeful Ted Cruz said this. No idea how many people live in Iran. And as you rightly pointed out, that ought to be probably a basic prerequisite of knowing about a country.
You got to double tap the screen like this, or you got to go to the top to the three dots and some little thumbs up there. We got to get the likes up, chat. Let me know if y'all in here rocking with me, man. I hope y'all having a good time.
Before you may wish to, for example,
put some W's in the chat if you having a good time.
And it may be that him now responding in the way that he is because you embarrassed him so much that day. But in relation to his claim that you are the single most dangerous demagogue in America, how do you respond to that?
Well, I'm honored that I beat Mamdani and AOC and the entire Democratic Party. I mean, this is a conservative Republican senator from Texas telling you that I am the most dangerous. Well, why is that? I have no allegiance to any foreign country, only my own, the one in which I was born, unlike Ted Cruz, who's from Canada. Why would I be the most dangerous? In fact, I'm not a demagogue. I don't seek to divide people. It pains me to see people divided. It's against my religion, and it's bad for my country.
Appreciate
he's
those
mad
W's.
at me.
Appreciate that
because
like.
His interview didn't go well, as you said. That's true, I think. But he's actually most mad at me because I'm criticizing our alliance with Israel, and I'm not doing that because I'm getting anything out of it. I'm certainly not. Or because I hate Israel. I don't and never have. But because I don't think it helps the United States. And I've been saying that for the last year to increasing irritation.
Okay, Chad, do y'all think that this helps the United States? Because a lot of people are saying to say that we're fighting this war for Israel is anti-Semitism. So do y'all think that, we'll do this. Do y'all think that we are, I'll let Tucker ask.
From agents of Israel like Ted Cruz. And now this war kind of proves the point. Unfortunately, I wish we hadn't come to this, but this is so destructive to American national interest that it's hard to believe.
Okay, so they're saying that we need to stop Iran from getting the nukes because they can reach over here. So do y'all think we're fighting this war on behalf of Israel, or do y'all think that we're fighting this war on behalf of America to keep Iran from getting nukes, man? Press 1 if you think we're fighting for Israel. Press 2 if you think we're fighting for America, man. They're saying that it's anti-Semitic to say that we're in this war for Israel, which is crazy.
Destroying American national interest, weakening the United States wasn't part of the point. How could it not have been? And the last point I would make about relevant knowledge of a country you seek to overthrow is that, like, looking at maps doesn't tell you the whole story, but it tells you part of the story. And at the eastern end of the Persian Gulf is a strait called Hormuz, through which 20% of the world's energy flows and a huge percentage of its fertilizer and sulfur and petrochemicals and things that we need for civilization. And if you shut that down, the world economy tanks. And by the way, if you take out the government that controls one half of that strait, and that government is replaced by warring tribes, a civil war, then you open it up to piracy. And anybody with a $400 drone can prevent an oil tanker from getting through the strait. So chaos is actually the enemy of commerce, as are, terrorist regimes. But chaos is actually even more of a threat because you cannot meaningfully negotiate with pirates, even with the Houthis. So, what was the plan? What was the plan to overthrow the government of Iran or even attack it in a meaningful way without jeopardizing core American interests? And the answer is there never was a plan, because the people who thought this up don't care about core American interests. And the net effect is to hand the Middle East to the Chinese, which is what is in process of happening. And I hope for the sake of the United States and the world that we can stop that. But the truth is, our real allies in the region are the 6 Gulf monarchies that control a lot of the world's energy.
Chad, if y'all think that they're about to hand that part of the world directly to China, I'm telling you, man, I think Trump will blow that thing off the face of the earth, man. I think Trump gonna send that bad boy over there, man. The same thing, the same missile we tested off the coast of California, man, before that shit's handed over, man. By the way, they're pro-American. Trump will turn that thing into a sandbox, man. A sandbox for real.
And decent people, as you know, because
we're not dealing with sane people, man. These people are trying to bring in the Messiah, man. Armageddon. I just see even Benny Johnson's talking about it. He can't even deny it anymore, man. Like, it's going on, Chad. It's going on. The world sees that we're not dealing with regular people anymore. If you don't see it, I'm sorry, man. These are accelerationists. They're trying to bring on the end times, man. And if you think a nuclear bomb is out of play, you must not know who the fuck you dealing with, man. These people trying to go down in whatever crazy, twisted future is about to be built, man. They're trying to go down in it, man, in the history of putting this shit together. Run up out of here. I'm sorry. The truth hurts.
You and I had lunch there. This is a nice part of the world. It's being destroyed. Yeah, these are our allies. We have bases in these countries for a reason, not just to protect Israel, but to protect the Straits of Hormuz. We haven't been able to defend these countries to the extent that I think they thought we would be able to. We've moved a lot of the anti-missile defense that might have protected them to Israel. And so for them, at the end of all of this, the question is going to be, do we allow the Americans to come back and occupy bases on the Persian Gulf? What's in it for us? We just got bombed for it. No one protected us. Our energy infrastructure is damaged. Our economy is offline for months as we rebuild it. In the case of Dubai, it's a branding disaster. Like, there's no upside. And so at that point, the Chinese, the world's largest economy, kind of sat this out on the sidelines, said basically nothing, may be called on to negotiate some kind of peaceful resolution to this. The Chinese, not the U.S., the Chinese. And then it naturally follows that China, which is the largest trading partner of every country on both sides of the Persian Gulf, would become the dominant power in the Persian Gulf. It would become Chinese. So, if you thought about this for 2 minutes before advocating for it, you might arrive at that conclusion, or at least conclude that's possible. That could happen if killing an 86-year-old religious leader didn't cause a spontaneous creation of a pro-Western government, which was apparently Ted Cruz's plan. If that didn't work, what would happen? Well, China would take over. And so anyone who didn't think that through is either not qualified to lead anything, including one half of the state of Texas. That person is probably actively working against America's core long-term interests. I mean, I don't know what other conclusion to reach.
It's been reported that you described the attacks when they first happened as evil and dangerous. Is that true? And is that a reflection of how you felt in that moment when you heard it had finally happened?
I got a text from...
Yep. A lot of y'all not going to believe it till y'all see that mosque go down, man. Watch. When they get to going for that mosque and trying to rebuild that third temple on that same foundation, then y'all will get some bells ringing and y'all be like, oh shit, it's real. I'm telling y'all right now, it's real, man. These folks are not just saying this shit out in the open on the airways playing. I don't know why you think these people are playing, man. When they talking about rebuilding this third temple, they talking about bringing on the Messiah. They talking about this is Armageddon, the war to end all wars, man. These folks, I'm taking this shit literal, Chad. And the reason I'm taking this shit literal is because something's not right with these folks, bro. Something's not right with these people, bro. All parties involved. It's a little off up here, man. It's a little off, man. It's ego, greed, and power. These people think they're bigger than the fucking at this point, they're trying to be the program. Some shit's not right up here with these people, man.
From someone I known for many years, right when I woke up, and said, "What do you think of this?" And I said, "Evil and disgusting," actually is what I said. And I wrote it to John Carl, as a reporter at ABC News, who I've known since the early 90s. I had no idea this was some kind of on-the-record thing. He immediately went on breaking news and, you know, and reported that. I had no desire to get that out there. I want to present my views in a more cogent, thoughtful way than just growling right when I wake up in response to the news on my phone. But yes, I'm not running away from what I said.
Also, other reports came out that in the strikes, Iran has a lot of sanctions going on, but they were mining a lot of Bitcoin. Iran was mining a lot of Bitcoin. I think it was like, 1,300 coins per day, maybe they were mining as a country. And one of those attacks were taking out a lot of their, operations. They couldn't mine the Bitcoin at that point. And by default, whatever, I guess the hash rate, that 10% goes to whoever has the most energy, the most power, whoever's mining the most. And by default, allegedly, it came to America. And we know who it came to, man. Straight up, man. This is a war going on all fronts, man. A lot of people don't even know about the crypto aspect. I spent like 2 hours today researching it, like going into it, man. And the shit is crazy, bro. Like, this is a deep, dirty game that's going on, Chad, on all sides, man. It's money being made everywhere. It's crazy. We're just not making it.
That was my initial reaction. I thought this was a disaster for American interests. I've thought that for many years. I've advocated against this war. I advocated against a war in Iran with Trump in the first Trump administration. So this is not a new position for me. I don't want to be vindicated in my fears, but unfortunately, I think the very few people who publicly oppose this are being vindicated.
Thank you, Rogie.
I don't know what the case is that this is good for the United States. No one's even attempting to make that case. So instead they say, well, you hate Jews, to which I always say, well, not only do I not hate Jews, I think anti-Semitism is immoral. It's against my religion. Shut up, you hate Jews. And that is designed to do a bunch of different things, create more loyalty to Israel. There's so much anti-Semitism, you must be loyal to Israel. That's definitely one of the aims of this.
And that's the thing, Chad. It's like, at this point, you look crazy when you say it's not my business. Like, when I get on here and say, look, man, this shit's really not my business. It's becoming my business because these folks are accelerating timelines trying to play God. But when I say that's some holy war shit going on, it's not my business what's going on between the Shia Muslims, the Sunni Muslims, and the Jews in Israel. It's a problem. Why? Why? I'm a black guy from the middle of the fucking deep south, bro. I'm in the middle of the deep south. I've never been to the Middle East. Never plan on going there. Haven't been to Iran. Haven't been to Israel. Haven't been to Qatar, Dubai, Iraq. None of that shit. And when I say it's not my business, y'all look at me like, oh my God, he said it's not his business? Well, fuck. It's not.
Another is to imperil the person you're calling a Nazi, because Nazis get shot. Everyone knows that. And the third is to make people who disagree with you, or who platform those who might disagree with you, or Bibi Netanyahu, censor them, take them off the air, shut them up, silence them. Those are the points of it. But at no juncture have I ever met anybody who has laid out like a kind of reasonable, even slightly fantastical, but just like logical case for how this war will benefit the United States, make us stronger, safer, richer. I've never heard that case. I'm waiting for it. I would love to hear it. I'd love to believe it.
You were in the Oval Office with President Trump. You were photographed with him. You met him, I think, maybe 3 times in the months leading up to this war, and I presume you discussed the potential for war in Iran with him. Did you?
This is the thing. You're saying nuclear weapons anywhere is everybody's problem. What's gonna happen when we leave? They're just gonna give up on the weapons and shit. It's looking like this might give. If we pull out prematurely, let's just say we pull out prematurely. They tout this shit as a win. You know, it is what it is. You know. At what point are we gonna be right back to where we were? Oh, they're 2 months away from a nuclear bomb. They're 2 weeks away from a nuclear bomb. We've seen this story how many times now? They'll be right back fucking 2 months away. Russia will be ready to fly in some more scientists. China will be able to fly in some more scientists. And now, boom, we get a national television, Iranian media. They're testing nukes and shit. I just don't see how they're going to stop it. I mean, call me naive, unless they blow that bitch off the map. Excuse my language, chat. They can stop it. Oh, trust me, they can stop it, but it's gonna change the world forever. That's my prediction. I'm predicting that they're about to change the world forever by nuking Iran.
Try and persuade him that this would be a terrible idea?
Of course, that's why I went 3 times in a month, 5 weeks maybe. Yeah, that's why I went. And I've known him a long time, as you have, and always gotten along with him, still get along with him. I still like him. I'll always like him no matter what happens, just because I like him as a guy. And I think he's trying his best. But in this case, I couldn't have an effect. I tried sincerely. I wasn't getting paid for it. It's coming, of course, at some reputational cost. No one wants to deal with being called a Nazi,
hit the like button,
screamed at or threatened, or having your kids threatened, which has happened to me a lot. And no one wants to deal with that. But I just felt that this was so serious that it was worth doing whatever I could, because, my gosh, people could die. The balance of power globally could change. I've never supported the idea of an American empire, but we have one. And it's in retreat, but there's a way to manage that that's not damaging or profoundly damaging to the United States, the country that I actually live in, that I was born in. And this is not the way. Wars accelerate trends in progress. They bring massive and unexpected change. Every war does this. It's the nature of war. The second people start dying, all kinds of things you never anticipated will happen. And you can't control them. You lose control of the process. I've covered wars. I've certainly watched a lot, read about a lot. I'm not an expert, but I try to apply obvious lessons through history to present day realities. And that was the first thing I said to the president and anyone else who would listen. Once this starts, the world is going to find out exactly how strong we are, which is not something you necessarily want to reveal. An implied threat is much more effective than, in other words, like, if we're squaring off for a fight and you look huge, you've been lifting a lot, I'm afraid of you, but I don't really know what you're capable of until I hit you or you hit me. And then we find out, and maybe it turns out you have no heart, and you lose. I mean, war is kind of the great reveal. And you don't necessarily want to go there, especially if you've ruled the world without question for 80 years and your capabilities have never really been tested. You haven't fought a big country really since 1953 when the Chinese entered the Korean War. So, you don't really know what you're capable of, and you don't really want to find out. Let's not find out. How's that? But I lost. So, as you can see.
Did you, when you were talking to him, Tucker, did you get a sense that he was on the fence about it, that he was potentially persuadable, or did you feel that he was minded to do it,
talking about, Chad?
Notwithstanding what you were trying to persuade him to the otherwise?
Well, this was over the course of a month, and that included, so I went there 3 times, but I also talked by phone a bunch, and with him about this. And a lot of other people did too. To advocate for it. A lot of people. I don't think many people within the White House were advocating for it, is my sense. Not that I would really know. I don't work there, but my sense is there weren't a lot of cabinet secretaries saying, "Oh gosh, we got to have a war with Iran." But there were a number of people from the outside who were all sort of visible. You kind of know who they are, donors and advocates for Israel who were advocating for it. And my sense is his view started to change. Well, obviously it did because he did it, but at no point did I detect an enthusiasm for it. He didn't seem eager to do it. He didn't want Iran to have nuclear weapons. That sounds fair. I don't have a problem with that. I don't want anyone to have nuclear weapons. I want Israel to have nuclear weapons. I don't want France to have nuclear weapons. I mean, that's a pretty reasonable position. But the idea that you would go in into some kind of conflict that could very easily become a ground invasion, or who knows what it becomes, a nuclear exchange, who knows? He was not eager to do that from what I could tell. And again, people tailor their positions to the audience, but I talked to him a lot. And I never one time got the feeling he can't wait to do it. But I also felt, turned out to be correct, that there was an enormous amount of pressure on him, like enormous. I mean, clearly there was an enormous amount of pressure. Where exactly did it come from? It wasn't just from Mark Thiessen of the Washington Post, who was calling a lot to demand more killing. Mark has a lifelong track record of doing that. But no one cares what Mark Thiessen thinks. I felt strongly, and I feel strongly now, that there were forces that were forcing him in this direction. And in fact, the Secretary of State, as you said in your intro, admitted as much out loud and said, Netanyahu said, we're going to go first, and you can either...
Chat, do y'all support this war? Press 1 if you support the war. Press 2 if you do not support the war. I see you, Born, saying, you stand behind your president. Okay, man, let's see what the chat thinks. Do you support this war? Press 1. If you do not, press 2.
Watch your assets get destroyed and your people get killed in the Middle East, or you can join us. The question, though, is why at that point...
I thought that was really... Yeah, that was really, I think, a fascinating moment when Marco Rubio said that, because it prompted Antony Blinken, the former Secretary of State, who'd obviously done his job, to then reveal that Netanyahu had tried to pressurize both Biden and Obama into doing the same thing, using the same pretext of, we're going to go and do this anyway, are you with us or not? And of course, in both those eventualities, the answer was no, and Israel didn't attack. I mean, do you think, knowing that now, knowing that from Blinken, do you think Trump may have got played here by Netanyahu?
How do y'all feel about the Tomahawk taking out the school? Do y'all care? Was it just a price that had to be paid because they were trying to hit another target? How do y'all feel, chat? Press 1 if you don't feel any type of way about the Tomahawk hitting the girls' school. Press 2 if you condemn it. You're upset about it, man. Press 1 if you know it's just part of war. Press 2 if you're like, that's too far, man.
Well, I already knew that the Israelis had done that in the previous administration. I knew they did it in 1973 with the Nixon administration.
You said no, bro, that's a war crime. Some people don't give a fuck about a war crime, man. Like, look, man, does Netanyahu have an ICC warrant out right now? Does Putin have an ICC warrant out right now? Hell, what's an ICC warrant to Trump, man? Let's be honest here, man. I've been saying this shit for months. These folks don't give a about war crimes or ICC warrants, man. You think Trump cared about this? He wouldn't have been blowing the boats out of the water if he gave a damn about an ICC warrant, man. Let's be honest with you, man. If all the quote-unquote world leaders got ICC warrants, man. Fuck, Kim Jong-un might be the only one that doesn't.
They threatened to use nuclear weapons against the Arabs and forced Henry Kissinger to okay arms sales to Israel. So
you said, bro, we went after Hitler for committing war crimes. Well, we haven't went after Netanyahu. We haven't went after Putin. Aren't they both being accused of war crimes? Netanyahu's being accused of war crimes. Putin's being accused of war crimes. And a lot of people are even saying Zelensky's being accused of war crimes. I haven't seen them go after any one of them. I just seen Putin go to Alaska. Just seen Netanyahu in Florida. Zelensky at the White House every other day. These folks don't give a fuck about no war crimes, man.
There's a long pattern of this. And I think anyone who knows anything about the Israelis knows that they're capable of this. They're capable of great violence. They take their threats very seriously, maybe too seriously, to the point where they become self-fulfilling. I mean, you could argue about it, but you know, they don't mess around. And of course, this had already happened in this administration. In June, our bombing, the 12-day war in Iran began when the prime minister of Israel announced to the administration, I'm doing this week. And my question then, and I raised it, was how about no?
I'm not saying war crimes just happen. I'm saying war crimes have been happening. People are being brought on charges of war crimes. This is not something that I'm just saying or just pulling out of my ass. Like, Netanyahu has an ICC warrant. Putin has an ICC warrant. Like, these folks are being brought up on war crime charges. Like, what are we talking about? It's not like I'm not saying that, oh, war crimes are just, no, this is what the fuck is going on. It's what's going on.
How about no? You're a client state. You've got 9 million people. You're the size of New Jersey. You don't make operational decisions. And you certainly don't tell the world's dominant superpower what we're doing next. Like, why would you? That's like getting a lecture from your children. No. And that was my position because that seems consistent with the laws of nature. The weaker partner doesn't get to dictate terms. Like, what world are we living in? And whatever, I'm not in charge. But that was my position. I think that'd be the position of most rational people. But Israel was in charge of that war. They started it, and they were in charge of this war. They started it. So this is a difficult thing for the people who advocated for the war to deal with, because their whole purpose is not to help the United States. It's to, and not even to help Israel. It's to help the prime minister of Israel.
Boom, I got it right here. President of Russian Federation is allegedly responsible for a war crime of unlawful deportation of population children and that of unlawful transfer of population children from occupied areas of Ukraine to the Russian Federation. The crimes were allegedly committed in Ukrainian occupied territory at least from 24 February 2022. There are reasonable grounds to believe that Mr. Putin bears individual criminal responsibility for aforementioned crimes for having committed the acts directly, jointly with others, and through Articles 25(3)(a) for his failure to exercise control properly over civilian and military subordinates who committed the acts, allowing for their commission, who were under his effective authority control pursuant to superior responsibility. So that's Putin's ICC warrant. I can pull up Netanyahu's too, man. They're accusing him of war crime. He don't give a fuck, man. These people don't give a F. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to be cussing. They don't give a F, bro. It's over with, man. Putin done had this ICC warrant for a minute, man. He's all talking to Trump in Alaska, man. Big dog, man. Don't give a damn. Netanyahu's flying over all kind of waters, man. They asked Mamdani what would he do. He talking about, oh, I'm gonna abide by international. Mamdani, you ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit, man. Netanyahu will come right there to 5th Avenue next week, man. ICC warrant and all, Mamdani ain't gonna do shit. Let's be honest, bro.
Benjamin Netanyahu. If you're loyal to Israel, if you love the state of Israel, what do you think about what's happening in Tel Aviv and Haifa right now? They just had, apparently, an Iranian rocket land right next to the Church of the Nativity. Luckily, it didn't do much damage. But this isn't helping Israel. There's no real end game for Israel here that's going to result in its long-term stability and peace. Of course not. This is a disaster for Israel, actually. Not that I really care, because I'm not Israeli, but I don't want to see any country harmed. And these people are in a very tough spot because now we've left the rhetoric stage and we're in the kinetic action stage where the rest of us can just assess outcomes without mediation. Like, who controls the Straits of Hormuz in 3 years? Is there an American military base in Bahrain? What happened to the Fifth Fleet? It used to be there. Where is it now? You know, who's controlling the energy flows out of the Middle East? These are measurable phenomenon. They're not susceptible to Ben Shapiro being like, wagging his eyebrows at you and telling you you're an anti-Semite. It doesn't matter what he says. And so it puts them in a very tough spot. How do they respond? Well, we know from the Iraq War, not a single person is ever going to admit he was wrong, ever.
Ben Shapiro said he will vote for Netanyahu to be America's president, man. Once I read that tweet, bro, it was like, I don't care what Ben Shapiro says anymore. Like, I never really cared, but once I seen that tweet, it was like, oh yeah, dude's gone, man. What the fuck is he talking about, man? What?
Ever? One of the most liberating things I've ever done in my life was admit that I was wrong about the Iraq War, and I was ashamed of it. I remain ashamed of it. But once you say I was wrong and I'm sorry, this tremendous weight lifts off your shoulders, and you don't have to lie anymore. And that is what liberation actually is. None of these people will do that. None. They feel no compunction, and they won't. So instead, what they're doing is they're just going bonkers on the attack because, and this is a precept that Israel lives by, the best defense is a strong offense. So rather than like debating you on the terms or admitting that they were wrong in their forecasts and there was no popular uprising in Iran and we've lost control of the world's energy, they're going to say, Piers Morgan, you're a Nazi. Megyn Kelly, you're a Nazi. And you're just like, what? That is a kind of insulation that they're constructing around themselves to prevent any kind of soul searching about how did I get it so wrong and all these people died because I was wrong. They don't want to deal with that. But it also allows them just like keep going on to the next war of conquest or the next satanic disaster that they'll back, which they will.
Have you spoken to President Trump since the war began?
Hell no. Tucker Carlson.
Just through proxies.
Tucker, you're excommunicated, man. You're not speaking to Trump, man. It's all weird, man. Tucker is probably excommunicated, Chad. Hit the like button for me. It's at the top, or you can double tap your screen or go to the top, hit the 3 dots. We are going to get in the Discord after this episode, and we're going to talk about everything that's going on right now. So, mods, drop the Discord. If you want to be involved in this conversation, go ahead and get in the Discord now, because in about 30 minutes, we'll be in there.
He called me names or said I was too dumb to understand MAGA or something. I wasn't, from my perspective, a real attack. I can't. I admit my weaknesses up front. Okay, I like pizza, which is wrong. I like Donald Trump, which is increasingly hard to defend, but I do. And I don't anticipate any kind of personal tiff with
Tucker. What? Now's not the time to just be outright saying I like pizza, bruh, and I like Donald Trump. What, Tucker? Read the room, bruh. I'm sorry, man, Tucker, bro. Like, you, at this point, you got to read the room, bro. Like, I had to pause it. What are you talking about? Like, now I'm looking around like, what do you mean? I don't even want to put that on you, Tucker. Like, I don't want to put that on you, but it's like, come on now. You got to read the room, big dog. Shit.
Trump, I think he was in an impossible spot. I think it's very obvious now that the U.S. president, under our current system, which I pray changes soon, doesn't have the latitude that people thought he had. Like, presidents can't just make whatever decision they want in the interest of their country. There are other forces hemming them in. We don't have sovereignty in a real way. Clearly we don't. If we're following a country of 9 million people into a war that could displace us as the dominant superpower, we don't have sovereignty. I mean, by definition. And I think every president has felt that since John F. Kennedy was murdered. And clearly they all have. And they've acted within it, with wisdom.
Yeah, H. Buster, I don't think the Trump administration cares if Russia bombs Ukraine. I don't think the Trump administration cares if Russia bombs Ukraine. Remember, he told Zelensky to fight his little heart out if he wants to. I think that's why Macron is saying that he's rebuilding his nuclear arsenal and he's not going to disclose how many they have. I believe that they're preparing. I believe that they're preparing because if Israel or America drops nukes over there in Iran, yes, that will give Putin, free reign to drop bombs on Ukraine, nukes on Ukraine. And somebody will have to respond, probably be France, man. It's looking like it might be France, man.
Wisdom or not, but they're still acting within boundaries that they didn't set, that no American did. And it's just time to change that system, not because you hate Israel or you're anti-Semitic. I mean, I'm not anti-Semitic. I don't hate Israel at all. I'm never going to. But that's not the way a sovereign country behaves or should have to behave. And Americans have earned the right to live under a government that makes decisions on their behalf for their benefit. I mean, it's that simple.
What Trump said about you was quite revealing, actually, because he said, Tucker's lost his way. He's not MAGA. MAGA is saving our country. MAGA is making our country great again. MAGA is America first, and Tucker is none
Why does Pierce keep saying MAGA? Who is MAGA, bro?
of these things.
Who is MAGA?
And Tucker's really not smart enough to understand that. Now, having been on the receiving end of Trump's savage rhetoric from time to time, that is pretty low base for him. But it was an interesting point about what constitutes MAGA, because, of course, there are many people with pretty short to mid-term memories who can remember Trump campaigning so vociferously to his MAGA base before the last election on saying, look, we're going to be America first. We're not going to go marching into Middle Eastern countries anymore. We're not going to wage foreign wars. We're not going to interfere in other countries. And we're going to fix the economy in the United States. We're going to get the cost of living prices down. We're going to end inflation. And it seems to me that it might be that President Trump has either forgotten what he said or wants to try and reframe what MAGA really means. Because if you're a MAGA voter, you must be slightly mystified. You may not want to admit it publicly because you think it betrays Trump, but you must be mystified that within a year of winning back the White House, the guy that campaigned on not going into the Middle East again, not waging foreign wars, focusing on America first and the US economy, has now launched the biggest war in the Middle East in my lifetime that America has waged. And that has inevitably sparked the biggest economic meltdown we've seen as a consequence of a war, not least because, as you said, about the Strait of Hormuz and the damage that is inflicting, and the simultaneous attacks on the Gulf states and all the fallout from that. So it seems to me that he may want to come after you for not really understanding MAGA, but I'm not sure that many in the MAGA movement, if they're really honest, can be comfortable with what is happening here.
I mean, look, I've never claimed to be a genius because I'm not a genius. And so it's entirely possible there are motives I don't understand. I certainly tried to understand in many conversations with him, but maybe I didn't. I'll keep that possibility open. And as for what MAGA is, it's a slippery definition. I mean, I think George Orwell wrote a bunch of books about this, including Animal Farm. Definitions change. I remember someone pointing to a picture of 100% black people once and telling me that's diversity. I remember thinking, looks like uniformity, actually. Like, what do these words mean? I don't know. I do know what America First means because it's a much more precise description. And it means you put America first in every decision that you make as an American leader. And this, by that definition, falls far short. In fact, it is by definition not America first because the administration has already said we followed the lead of a foreign country in doing this. We put their interest first. And I think most people, no matter how they feel about Israel, whether they love it or hate it, or it doesn't matter. It's nothing to do with this specific country. It has to do with any country that might be leading us around, particularly to our destruction, and putting its interests before ours. Our leaders can never agree to that, period, because it is the opposite of America first. So, whatever Trump said about me, I didn't take it personally. I suspect he doesn't really mean it because I've always gotten along with him for 30 years. I expect I always will. But on this one specific question, America first, we can say this was not America first. This was at least America second. I do think it's obvious that Israel understood, because they're not stupid, that the effect of this war would be to get the United States out of the Middle East. And unfortunately, I think that will be the effect. And they want that because why would you want a dominant power in your region telling you what to do and hemming you in, as the U.S. has to Israel? No, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. We may not mean it, but we still hassle them used to hassle them over, say, the West Bank settlements. They want the U.S. out, and they're moving to India. Okay, that's their calculation. But how is that good for me as an American? It's not. So America first. Yeah, this was not America first, whatever it was.
Well, what is very interesting is that I can't remember a war that once it started where American forces have been committed by an American president where there hasn't been majority support for that war in the United States in the polling. This is the first time where there isn't. There's a majority of a lack of support for it. Americans are not, they're not buying this war. They don't want it.
The PSYOPs haven't worked. The PSYOPs haven't worked. Austin, Texas, Senegalese guy with the damn Property of Allah sweatshirt and an Iranian flag on his t-shirt, shoots 14 people, unalives too. Okay. We got the synagogue attack, the same synagogue that they ran the damn drills and things of those sorts on. All right. Come on, Chad, man. It's crazy, bro.
They don't really understand it, and they're very concerned about the consequences.
The only people who support this war are those born between 1946 and 1964 who watch a lot of Fox News. That's it. I'm not attacking them. By the way, they're Americans. They're my equals as Americans. I love a lot of them. But their perspective on the U.S. and the world is very different from everyone else's. Very, very different. And so they're not the ones who got Donald Trump elected, actually. The people who got Donald Trump elected are the people who hadn't voted for Republicans before or even voted at all before. And they're like Joe Rogan listeners, or people who use nicotine pouches. They're Hispanic voters. They're young black men. They're non-traditional Republican voters who voted for Trump because he promised not to keep doing the same thing. And one of the things he promised not to do again was to hand operational authority over to Benjamin Netanyahu, as other presidents have. We don't want any more of that. Why would we? And we're not going to make Mark Levin or Ben Shapiro, who have almost no organic support in the media world, like no one really watches them. We're not going to hand control of our foreign policy over to people like that who don't know anything and who don't have America's interests at heart or even in mind. So breaking faith with those people, those voters, the ones who actually got Trump elected and whose coalition promised a new day in American politics, that's a big deal. It's a betrayal on the level that I don't think people who aren't in those groups can understand. Like, this is heartbreaking. And by the way, a lot of those people really like Trump. They like his style. They think he's hilarious. He's brave. He's just like, they like him. And to see this is, it's so wounding. It hurts. I've got a bunch who work for me. I'm related to some. They're all Trump voters. And I talked to them in the last 24 hours. Boy, they're upset. They're not just mad, like, I hate Israel. That's not the impulse. They're definitely starting to hate Israel. Why wouldn't they? Our relationship with Israel is hurting us gravely. It's getting Americans killed. So they're mad, but it's more than mad. I can't believe he did this to us. I feel just so depressed about it.
How politically?
Also, Chad, there are reports that on the USS Gerald Ford that they've set fires on the Gerald Ford. Man, we know that they had to, I believe, dock it somewhere to get it fixed, but they didn't end up coming home because they were stuffing shirts down the toilets because they don't want to go to war, man. But yeah, reports are coming that they have been starting little small fires on there as well. It's crazy.
Damaging could it be? We've got the midterms coming up in November. There were already a lot of reports that it was likely the Republicans would lose control of the House. Now I'm reading more reports that it may be that they even lose the Senate, which would render Trump, notwithstanding all his...
I'm not gonna lie, Chad, sending 2,500 to 5,000 Marines over there, it doesn't sound like this is going to be wrapped up in 10 days, man, in a couple weeks. It doesn't sound like Trump's just going to say, hey, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, Chad. I don't know, man.
It's kind of,
At this point, we back to how it was when I was a kid. Bring our troops home. You know what I'm saying? Remember, that was the thing, Chad. I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was younger. I remember it. It was bring our troops home. Bring our troops home. Now we right back to bring our troops home. It's crazy, bro. We right back to bring our troops home, man. Whole generation of kids finna grow up saying, bring our troops home.
Mystical powers to avoid the normal norms of politics in America. If you don't have control of the House and the Senate, you are a lame duck president, period, end. There's pretty much nothing more you can do.
That's true now. I mean, I think the conversation has moved on from the president. It's not an attack on him. He's still, of course, is commander-in-chief. He threatened some kind of mass destruction of Iran yesterday. It sounded like a nuclear strike to me. So, like, he has the capacity, to make decisions. He's the president, elected president. However, as a political matter, that era is over. For the reasons I just described. I didn't want that to be true, but the coalition is permanently fractured. He was not elected because of Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro did not get Donald Trump elected. A lot of the people Trump is now attacking got Donald Trump elected. Marjorie Taylor Greene, et cetera. So that coalition is done. The Republican Party is currently...
I did see that the 3 soldiers on the plane that went down, they were refueling. I did see one of the guys were from Ohio. You said all 6 were from Ohio, man. Dang, prayers to them and their families. Yeah, I do remember when George Bush said mission accomplished and we stayed for 17 more years. Yeah, that was Telling you, Chad, I remember growing up, bring our troops home, bring our troops home. Now it's like, wow, we're right back here. We're right back here, Chad.
Constituted will not continue because it doesn't represent its voters. It doesn't even try to represent its voters. In fact, it shows open hostility.
Like, Chad, I remember exactly where I was at when 9/11 happened. I remember exactly what classroom I was in. I remember who was the teacher. I remember who I was sitting next to. I remember 9/11 vividly. Like, Chad, I remember that shit vividly. Where were y'all at when 9/11, when you found out about 9/11, Chad? Let me know in the comments where were you at?
To its voters. So nothing like that can continue for very long because it doesn't make any sense. It's a bicycle with square wheels. It's ludicrous. So the question is, what comes next? And I do think it's possible to recreate some version of the 2020 Trump coalition or the 2024 Trump coalition on the basis of his core promise, which is just put the country first. And like, you're going to make mistakes and we're not exactly sure how to fix certain things, but let's all try. And by the way, let's be united as we do it. The ugliest thing to come out of the Mark Levin-controlled Republican Party, which I find repulsive, and I just want to say I'll do everything I can to stop that party from becoming, any more powerful than it is try to stoke religious conflict in the United States, attacking people for being like a different religion. We hate the Muslims, really. How is that different from we hate the Jews? Well, it's not in any sense different at all. And I would say, just thinking long-term about the United States, the greatest threat is not even the loss of the US dollar as the reserve currency globally. The greatest threat is tribalism, where the country fractures into warring tribes. And people like Levin are doing their best to create that. And it's totally immoral and dangerous. It will result in violence. Their endless harping on this anti-Semitism question is part of that. Anti-Semitism is immoral. It's every bit as immoral as anti-white bias, which is encoded in the federal government, by the way, and every elite institution in the United States discriminates against whites. That is every bit as immoral as anti-Semitism. That's every bit as immoral as hating anybody else on the basis of their bloodline, because it's a universal principle. It applies to every human being. It's a human right to be treated as an individual and not be held responsible for the sins of your parents. That is a human right in the West. And people like Levin and Shapiro don't recognize that because they are not Western in their orientation. They think that rights only apply to the groups they favor. And that idea, that evil idea, which was the basis of Nazism, by the way, that is the thing that will destroy the United States. And the next leadership of this...
I think they closed school the next day too, Chad. If I remember correctly, weren't the school closed? Weren't all schools closed the next day after 9/11?
Country, whoever it is, has to articulate we're all American citizens. We must be treated equally under the law. Bias against one group is no better or worse than bias against another group, period. Anti-Semitism. Where were you when the ADL was openly promoting anti-white hate? So now the ADL is an authority on bias crimes? They've abetted bias crimes. They are currently abetting bias crimes. The ADL and every single one of these groups has an absolute moral obligation to treat anti-white hate, which is the only kind encoded in U.S. law right now, as every bit the threat of anti-Semitic hate. How are they different? They're not. And no one will say that until someone does say that, you will not reunite this country. And if this continues, the country will fracture.
As we're talking, with glorious coincidence, Ben Shapiro has been releasing various clips on his social media platforms. One of them goes after me and Megyn Kelly. Me because he blew his gasket about Dave Smith appearing on my show, launched into my show, said it was just Jerry Springer. As I like Jerry Springer, I knew him very well. I worked with him on...
Yeah, Chad, they say, what's the guy, the Silverstein, was that the guy that had bought the Twin Towers before they got hit? Well, they say he just bought the largest building in LA, man. They say he just bought the largest building in LA, allegedly. Cough, cough.
America's Got Talent. He's actually a very smart guy. Used to be a news anchor, mayor of Cincinnati. Really interesting guy, much smarter than Ben Shapiro. So I took that as a compliment. But and I responded. He didn't like the response. He's come back. He's called me Jerry Springer again. He's called me a click whore. He says I'm a pussy bitch. And he goes on and on and on.
He called me Jerry
actually want to play
Springer.
The clip.
He said I'm a click whore, and he called me a what? What? A weak B? Tucker just went off.
Who
right went off on Tucker
as
like
every
that?
Bit the threat of anti-Semitic hate. How are they different? They're not. And no one will say that until someone does say that, you will not reunite this country. And if this continues, the country will fracture.
As we're talking, with glorious coincidence, Ben Shapiro has been releasing various clips on his social media platforms. One of them goes after me and Megyn Kelly. Me because he blew his gasket about Dave Smith appearing on my show.
Listen to what Ben Shapiro said about Tucker Carlson, bro. He went the fuck off, bro.
Launched into my show, said it was just Jerry Springer. As I like Jerry Springer, I knew him very well.
It's Jerry Springer. I like Jerry Springer.
I worked with him on America's Got Talent. He's actually a very smart guy. Used to be a news anchor, mayor of Cincinnati. Really interesting guy, much smarter than Ben Shapiro. So I took that as a compliment. But
damn, I didn't know Jerry Springer was the mayor of Cincinnati. Chad, press 1 if you knew Jerry Springer was the mayor of Cincinnati, man. Press 2 if you didn't know that. I did not know Jerry Springer was the damn
He didn't like the
mayor.
response. He's come back. He's called me Jerry Springer again. He's called me a click whore. He says I'm a pussy bitch. And he goes on and on and on. I don't actually want to play the clip about me because he's trying to basically suggest that if you platform anybody that he hasn't approved as a person that can speak about Israel, in other words, someone who's a propagandist for Israel, who will not criticize Israel, then you yourself are promoting anti-Semitism, therefore you're an anti-Semite, therefore you're basically borderline Nazi. But I do want to play what he said about you, because he's been railing the same stuff against you, which I don't think anyone who has watched this interview so far will have concluded, oh yeah, Tucker sounds like a raging anti-Semite. He sounds like a Nazi. You couldn't sound less like either of those things, and yet he's just posted this. Let's take a look.
I started originally criticizing Tucker Carlson for his economic programs back in 2018. And then in the more modern post-Fox iteration of Tucker, I started criticizing Tucker over his going to Russia to sniff the bread and kiss Vladimir Putin's ass. My generalized critique of Tucker in the last few months has been, one, he hosted and glossed a Nazi, Nick Fuentes, which doesn't have to do with Israel. It has to do with glazing a Nazi, Nick Fuentes. And then I did a speech at Heritage in which I went through the fact that Tucker Carlson is in no way, shape, or form.
Hey, Ben Shapiro looked like he just don't want to share shit. It looked like he was like the kid in school, you know, that'll open his lunchbox and be like, you know, turn his back away and shit like that, man. Ben Shapiro wouldn't let you borrow a pencil out of that motherfucker. What's up, Bobby? Bobby said, do you think the U.S. is going to win this war? What about the $11 billion they spent so far? I'm sure it cost them like their line about casualties. So we got to define what it means to win this war. If the U.S. remains the hegemon and they control that strait, then yes, they won. Whoever controls the strait after this is over with really wins the war. So the U.S. has a chance to win. They can control it for a time period and make sure that the dealings are in their favor. Then that would be considered a win. Now, as far as Iran winning, if the U.S. leaves, Iran won. Long as Iran gets left standing and it's not totally annihilated, then yeah, Iran, that's a win for them. What about the $11 billion they spent on this war? I mean, our defense budget is crazy, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Yeah, our defense budget is crazy.
A traditional.
And you said, I'm sure it cost them a lot more, like they're lying about the casualties. I heard that Hegseth wouldn't really comment on the exact number of casualties either.
Conservative. That he's a conspiratorial near anarchist at this point, seeking to tear down the fundamental ideas and institutions of the United States. Go watch the Heritage speech. I believe Israel is mentioned once in a 35-minute speech that is all about Tucker's general view of the world and how it does not represent traditional conservatism in any way. I think that Tucker Carlson has fostered anti-Semitism by having on some of the worst anti-Semites in America over and over and over, and then essentially laundering their views.
So it's the same attack line, essentially, about the anti-Semitism, which is if you or I or Megyn Kelly, whoever it may be, dares to platform anybody who is critical of Israel, let's be clear. I mean, in my case, I've always made it crystal clear, as you have in this interview, I have absolutely no problem with Israel, the state of Israel, with Israelis, with Jewish people, got many Jewish friends. It's nothing to do with that. I reserve the right as a journalist to.
I'm trying to think, Chad. I don't think I've ever had I've had some black Jewish friends, you know, like, but I don't think I've ever had a white Jewish friend, you know, or I don't know. I just don't think I've ever had one. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I've had one. I've got some black Jewish friends though.
Criticize any government, and I particularly reserve the right to criticize the Israeli government, given what it's been doing in the last few years, as any decent journalist should, not least because in Gaza, for example, the Israeli government continues to ban international journalists from operating there or even going on into Gaza to verify what they've been up to. That alone should be a warning sign to everybody that the Israeli government has probably been doing things in Gaza it doesn't want people to know. But I took the same view. You know, I oppose the Iraq War. We've talked about this before. But I led the media campaign in the UK against the Iraq War, even though my own brother ended up fighting in it. But I opposed it, and I think was vindicated by what happened afterwards, sadly. But I opposed it and took on Tony Blair, who was the then British Prime Minister, even though my newspaper was the Labour.
I'm trying to think, Chat. No, I haven't, cause like I'm in a Bible Belt, Chat. So it's like I've seen what's them people called? Damn, what's them people called, Chat? That knock on your door, man. What's them people called that knock on your door, man? Dang, what's them people called, Chat? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The people that come knock on your door, man. Man, what's the people, nah, not 7, the Jehovah Witness. That's what it is. Yeah, the Jehovah Witness, man. So I grew up with some Jehovah Witness. I got some Jehovah Witness people I grew up with. A few Muslims, you know what I'm saying? Some Christians. But yeah, Chad, I just don't remember growing up like with any Jewish people. I don't know, because they say a lot of Jewish people are, you know, in New York, and I guess they're in certain areas. I guess they just weren't where I was at. I didn't have that experience.
Sympathetic newspaper, the Daily Mirror, to the Labour government. But I did it because I thought it was the right thing to do. It didn't mean that I hated British people or my country. In fact, quite the opposite. It meant that I wanted to help the British people and help my country from stumbling into a disaster. And I sense from you that your position about Iran is not driven by a hatred of Jews or Israelis or Israel. It is driven by a sense that you feel this is bad for America and Americans, and probably bad for Israelis and Jewish people as well.
Oh yeah, Chad, I grew up with some Catholics. Yeah, some Catholics too. You said Piers Morgan is Irish? I don't know. You said you had a couple Jewish girlfriends? Yeah, no, I didn't. I don't know, Chad. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I care about the United States. Again, I was born here. My family's been here hundreds of years. I care about it. I don't expect I'll be able to save it, but I want to do whatever I can to make it better and to avoid obvious disasters like this one. I don't want to attack Ben Shapiro, other than to say, like, that guy went to Harvard, and so did Bill Ackman. Like, at some point, you need to reassess. No, I'm serious, though. These are two of the most famous, richest people in our world. They both went to Harvard. I know them both. Not geniuses, like, not even close to geniuses. And so, like, our system itself is not producing wise people or even very knowledgeable people. Like, Ben Shapiro had no idea there was a strait at the end of the Persian Gulf and why it was important. You need a system that produces superior people. The British Empire did a pretty good job of this. The United States before the Second World War did a pretty good job of this. We need to reassess our system. That's the first thing I would say. Second, you're right. This is absurd. I think I've actually even argued with you about Israel. I was taking a tougher position than you. You've been a defender of Israel. Yeah. That's why this is so crazy. He wants to talk about this in order to get, this is projection. You're all about clicks. No, actually, Ben Shapiro is all about the money and about the clicks. But here's the part that I think that we should be concerned about. It is now a crime in a lot of the West to criticize Israel. People were arrested yesterday in Australia for criticizing Israel outside, publicly, not attacking Jews, not attacking physically anybody, saying, I'm against the state of Israel. They're arrested for it. They're in jail tonight. That's also true in the UK, as you know. It's true in Canada. It's true throughout Europe. And Ben Shapiro and people in the administration would like to make that the law here. This is the last holdout of free speech on planet Earth, the United States. It's encoded in our Constitution. Also, I would say in the American DNA. We have a right to say whatever we believe is true, period. And that very much includes criticism of a foreign country. You'll never hear me saying from the river to the sea, because I'm not exactly sure what that means. However, if I want to say from the river to the sea, I certainly will. And I'll do that until I die, because that's my birthright. That's a right given to me by God, not the US government. And Ben Shapiro and a lot of these people are saying it out loud. We need to penalize anti-Semites with the law. What does that even mean? You can never, in the United States, prosecute or even persecute someone for his beliefs. For your beliefs, you have the right of conscience in this country. The UK used to have it. Australia used to have it. New Zealand used to have it. Now they're going to jail for saying things that Ben Shapiro doesn't like. So we should be wary of this, because it's all preparatory to legislative and regulatory changes that will ban free speech in the United States. They're saying it out loud. That's happening.
I also think that the really insidious part of it, and there were many insidious parts of it, one is to silence people and to threaten them and to get them cancelled and so on, which is very hypocritical coming from someone like Ben Shapiro, who pretends to be the great king of free speech. But also, there are
Chad, be sure to hit the like button, man, and subscribe to the channel. We're 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. Let me take this super chat. It says, there's nowhere for the U.S. to keep its soldiers safe in the region. Also, Iran is not Iraq, just geographically and strategic-wise. Iran has 1.4 million soldiers also. Most definitely, this is a different type of landscape, a different group of people, you know. The war is gonna have to be fought differently, but like I said, I think we got that big dog, man. They said it was 20 Hiroshimas, man. They said whatever Trump tested, whatever they tested off the coast the other day is 20 Hiroshimas, man. 20 Hiroshimas right there, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I ended my own monologue response to him by saying those exact words, which probably triggered his little pussy bitch outburst today, as he's called me. But I think the other thing that I find insidious, Tucker, is that there are genuine anti-Semitic people. There are people that hate Jews because they're Jewish. There are people that wish harm to Jews. There are people who still have Nazi sympathies, who think the Holocaust was a good thing. These people exist. And if you start branding everybody that's critical of this current very hardline Israeli government, with people like Smotrich and Ben-Gvir, who have extremely hardline views, if you criticize a government and you get branded anti-Semitic for criticizing the government for policies that many people think are wrong, then what you're doing, you're allowing the genuine anti-Semites, the genuine Nazi sympathizers, to just ride under the radar. Because, you know, if you go on social media now, everyone's an anti-Semite, according to Ben Shapiro and these guys. Once everyone becomes something, even though the vast majority are not that thing, then the ones who really are that thing get to operate much more freely, I think.
That may be true. That's not my first concern. My first concern is the innocent falsely accused. Always. It is better to let people get away with crimes than it is to punish a single innocent man. That has always been a bedrock assumption of American justice.
H. Bush to chill out of the comments.
Of course, Israel specializes in punishing the innocent, killing the families of people they don't like. So it's not a concept that people like Ben Shapiro understand or care about, but it's the basis of Western civilization. So you do not accuse or penalize innocent people, much less kill them, A. B, this is a universal principle. It is not specific to one ethnic group or one bloodline. The principle is you cannot attack or penalize people, punish them for the sins, real or perceived, of their ancestors. period. And in the United States right now, and this has been true for 60 years, the only group that is routinely denied jobs, promotions, federal grants, college admission to Harvard is Christian whites. And it's embedded in the law in the United States. We call it affirmative action, DEI, diversity imperatives, whatever. That's the law in the United States. And so if we're going to tackle bias, and I think we should, through moral suasion, we need to attack it equally, evenly, as a universal principle, because if these protections apply only to your group, they're not valid. That's just tribalism. I don't care, actually. And then we're in a system where we only care about our own groups. No law or principle has meaning or validity unless it's universal, unless it applies to all human beings, all American citizens. And so I would just remind Ben Shapiro of that. You need to push back, if you're pushing back against anti-Semitism, you need to push back against the only kind of hate and bias embedded in U.S. law. It's the U.S. law. And this administration has done not so much to change that. I don't understand why. I hope they will. But as long as we're doing this, let's just apply it to every human being, because human rights are a real thing. Those rights were endowed by God. I just want to, I know Ben Shapiro went to Harvard, but he should meditate on that for a minute.
Well, also, he should meditate on the fact that when to a lot of outrage from people on the pro-Palestinian side, when I was very vociferous in my belief when the war on Hamas started, that Israel didn't just have a right to defend itself, it had a fundamental duty to defend itself after what was an appalling terrorist attack, with 1,200 people killed and nearly 7,000 wounded and 250 kidnapped, including a baby and Holocaust survivors and so on. Of course they had to defend themselves. By taking such a strong position as I did for a long time, and you and I did argue about this as it went on.
Yes.
I took a lot of heat coming from the other side about that. And, I made the point to Shapiro this week. I've taken heat from both sides, and I'm fine with that. I actually think journalists should take heat from both sides of almost any issue, because it probably means you're doing the right thing. You're asking the right questions at the right time. But he was very keen to come on my show and enjoy the clicks that came from the interviews that we did when he perceived me to be somebody on his side. But what he didn't understand was I never saw it as taking a side. I just saw it as they had a right to defend themselves, as America did after 9/11. As Britain did, when we had the Battle of Britain and the Blitz. You have a right to defend your country, whoever you are, if you're under attack. But he mistook that for me taking a tribal position with him, that I was on his side. And the moment I began to deviate from that, I began to get more critical of Israel, certainly from the start of last year onwards, I became much more critical. He couldn't handle it. And then he didn't just refuse to come on the show. He refused to reply to my texts. We'd always had a very cordial relationship. And then he started attacking me in public. And I was watching all this going, really? You're the free speech guy? You're the guy that tells the world how important free speech is? You're the one that says repeatedly, facts don't care about your feelings? And yet here you're letting your feelings override any changing facts on the ground in Gaza, for example. And I felt that was just so rankly hypocritical.
And also embarrassing. I mean, he's ruled by his emotions. So, which is lots of us are. I am sometimes, for sure. Try not to be. But here's a guy whose whole brand, carefully constructed brand with his carefully constructed deal with Facebook, is based on his cool analysis, right? Facts don't care about your feelings. I'm a facts guy. And here he is allowing his one overriding love in life, which is for the Benjamin Netanyahu government, to determine who he's friends with. And by the way, you see a lot of this. I mean, I called Mark Levin right after Charlie Kirk was killed to say, geez, this is horrible. And let's stop fighting because we probably have a lot in common and, let's just not fight. When you see someone killed who you love, it's like you want to fight less. So that's why I called him. And he was nice, by the way, he was. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. And then he starts getting this whole thing about my mother told me there was going to be another Holocaust in the United States. And he goes, they're coming for the Jews. And, I don't want to make fun of other people's fears.
Chat, hit the like button for me. Double tap the screen, or you can go to the top and the three dots. Dorsey, I see a couple of y'all in the Discord. Leo, Dorsey, and we got some new person in there. I see y'all in the Discord. I'm gonna jump in the Discord in just a second. If y'all want to go ahead and head to the Discord, I'll meet y'all over there in just a minute, man.
That may or may not be reasonable. But it was so real to him. And I almost said, geez, Mark, of course, I'm totally opposed to hurting anybody, period. I'm a Christian. But I don't think we're on the cusp of that, like in Connecticut right now. But it was so real to him. Like his fear of that, like, dominated everything. And it really, I guess what I would say is, I don't think Shapiro.
You said, what does Discord do? Well, we use our Discord to communicate. So if when I want to have a panel, like we're going to get in here after this and all discuss these topics that we had today. So it's a voice chat that we're going to use to have like a panel. Because on my regular StreamYard, right now I can only have 6 people, but in Discord we can have as many people as we want in there. But y'all will still be able to hear it on the live. Also, I'm shadow banned right now, so if you're in the Discord, you'll get updates every time I go live. I always, add everyone like, hey, I'm going live. There's a bunch of different tabs where people just have different conversations about movies, video games, music, or shit, whatever, man. The Discord is a community outside of me. We call it the vault, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not always in there, but I am in there a lot, sometimes I'm in there, sometimes I'm not, but the Discord it's gonna go on regardless. It's gonna go on, whether I'm around or not, it's gonna go on.
Shapiro and Levin and Ackman and some of these people get the credit they deserve for sincerity. Like, I think that they really think we're on the verge of something horrible domestically. And the sad thing is their neuroses and their inability to control.
Nah, I got shadow banned for some other stuff. I got shadow banned for these panels, actually. The stuff we talk about on these panels and cussing and language, a lot of that has to do with me being shadow banned. Trying to give people a place to have free speech on YouTube, but you know how it gets. Some of these debates get heated, and then the personal attacks are really bad for the channel. And I was showing fight videos too. I've shown a couple fight videos over the last couple weeks that got me shadow banned too.
Control their emotions, divides Americans, and scares the crap out of a lot of really decent people who I know who are Jewish. They're like, oh my gosh, we're on the verge of a pogrom. And you want to say, first of all, I don't think we are. Second, I'll do whatever I can to stop that because I hate that kind of thing. And let's, calm down. But no, I think they believe it. And I think the net effect is to inspire group cohesion, which again, may be part of the point. I don't know. But whatever it is, it's bad. It's corrosive. It destroys friendships. It will destroy the country. Like, everyone needs to calm down a little bit, I guess I would say.
Appreciate it, Mike.
There was an interesting response to something you said about when Trump said he wouldn't accept anything less than unconditional surrender from Iran. You discussed that and what unconditional surrender means. Let's take a listen to what you said.
Unconditional surrender means foreign troops get to rape your wife and daughter if they want. And everyone knows that. And that has been, if there's one consistent lesson of history, it means unconditional surrender means foreign troops get to rape your wife and daughter. Everyone can feel that. That's like the most atavistic instinct there is. And so to avoid that, people will do anything.
Now, as you know, a lot of people jumped on that and who don't like you and said that what you were inferring was that the US military in this eventuality would be capable of raping women if Trump went through with his aim of achieving unconditional surrender. I mean, do you want to clarify what you said? Do you want to respond to what those people have been saying?
Sure. Let me just say, I almost never infer anything because I'm not a woman. I just say what I think. I don't play chess. I play checkers. Pretty straightforward person. Ask my wife. And so if I thought that U.S. troops would rape Iranians, which I don't think, I would just say so. I don't think that. And when the U.S. military admitted that it bombed the girls' school attached to the Iranian naval base at the beginning of the...
So who is Tucker? Who is? If that isn't what you meant, I mean, what did you mean? What other troops are over there? I'm just a little confused, man.
Conflict, my immediate assumption was that was a mistake, and I still believe that. Now, where did the targeting come from? That's a real question. and we should find out. But no, of course, I give American troops the benefit of the doubt always, as I give Americans the benefit of the doubt always, unlike.
And I believe Tucker, like I believe that he didn't just want to put that on them, but like when he said it, it's like who else is there? Like that's an honest interpretation. Like if somebody got like, damn, Tucker, is that what you saying? I can understand. Now that he's coming out clearing it up, saying, "Oh, I'll say what I mean what I say." You know, I'm straightforward. Okay, but you kind of had to clean that one up, Tucker, because it's like, who the fuck else is over there? You said, "Please read my chat." It doesn't let me write it. Where is it at, Bobby? They might have blocked it, Bobby. If you said some crazy shit, they might have blocked it. I scrolled up looking for it, but I don't see it. They might have blocked it, Bobby.
Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin, who are telling their viewers that Americans are going to rise up in a pogrom or a Holocaust. I don't think Americans are like that. I don't think they're capable of that. And so I have very high opinion of Americans, period. And so I was not saying that. What I'm saying is a very obvious thing that any wise person understands, which is unconditional surrender is a lot to ask. And it's a lot to ask of anybody because it throws open any.
Right. And I get that, Tucker, but when you say something so vile, so disturbing, and you say that everybody knows that this is what's going on in history, how can you be upset that someone takes that at face value? As descriptive as you were, how you tied it to everyone should know this and going back into history, how do we know that, oh, you're just meaning that level of vulnerability? Especially when we're seeing these alleged clips of shit like that going on in Gaza. Come on, Tucker. If we standing on business and you standing on business, I don't know, man. I don't know, Tucker. I felt like you might have, I don't know, man. I'm just being honest here, man. You was talking about somebody. Who I just want to know who. Now you say you weren't talking about the Americans. Okay. The who?
Any possibility.
Is it one of these militia groups? Is it a third party? Who?
And the fact is, again, this is not something historically illiterate people would know, unconditional surrenders historically have always been followed by mass killing and rape and looting.
All right, Bobby, you said it's right after my donation. You said meaning generally in war, unconditionally surrender means that level of vulnerability. Okay, that's the one. You said, they deleted that. Yeah, I'm telling you, I didn't see it. They're going to delete it. You're going to have to type with some decorum, some cold letters. Yeah, I don't see it, Bobby. I would sure read it.
Because there's no defense. You have said, what I have is now yours. That's what an unconditional surrender is. And so it's a very, very high bar to set for anybody, and it takes off the table any real possibility of diplomacy. And diplomacy is, by the way, one of our great powers. The United States has had the ability to negotiate out of situations that would hurt us and others without violence. That's a power. That's why we have a State Department and a Secretary of State. My father worked there. I know how this works. And it doesn't always work well, of course, but when you don't have it at all you have left are weapons. And our weapons are proving inadequate. So then you have to escalate to what? Weapons of mass destruction. Do you really want to go there? I don't think you do. No normal person wants to go there. So anyway, that's the only point I was making. An unconditional surrender, would you unconditionally surrender your home and your family to anyone? Of course you wouldn't. Because you're a man with self-respect who's head of household. You would die before you allowed your wife and children to fall into the hands of someone who meant them harm. Of course, that's the standard, Dumbo. It's not about attacking American troops. It's about assessing whether that kind of threat is going to get you what you want, which is advantage to your country with as few dead as possible. I don't even know what world we're living in where the people in charge are this stupid that you would have to explain something so obvious, and that children on the sidelines, like the kid with the eyebrows, would be like barking, "You hate American troops." No. All I care about is the United States, in contrast to you. And so it's almost like insulting to play along with these lies, but, I guess you have to.
See, I think Tucker's telling a partial truth right here. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say it. Tucker's definitely talking about somebody, and he is not talking about American troops. Y'all are on X. I'm on X. Y'all see the videos that are circulating. We just seen Sneeko interview the one guy over there, and he said some wild shit, man. I can only assume that Tucker was talking about some people. I don't think Tucker was just saying I think he was talking about the unconditional surrender as a mindset, but he was also talking about like this shit going on. So right now, I think he's doing a little backpedaling. Chat. Are y'all feeling what I'm feeling? Is Tucker doing a little backpedaling, man?
There was something else that Ted Cruz said in his little rant about you. He said, Tucker says there's no one on planet Earth he hates more than Christian Zionists.
Man, I don't care what you are saying, man. I do care because you in here rocking with me. So let me read this, BB. BB said, not at all. He was literally saying that I was asking that of them. Example, to show how extreme and ridiculous the expectation for them to actually to agree to that is. Well, I'm going to say this. Tucker Carlson is a right-wing podcaster. And when you get into that algorithm and that right-wing X feed, you'll get to seeing videos, man, of alleged shit going on in Gaza, right along the lines of the alleged shit that Tucker Carlson is talking about right now. So it's not far-fetched for people to believe Tucker Carlson was actually speaking on some individuals. Now, whether that was Americans or not, I'm not debating that. I don't think he was talking about Americans. I just think that he's not saying what he really meant right now. That's my opinion, you know?
And he blamed in particular me and Mike Huckabee as objects of his ire, and I wear that as a badge of honor. I mean, is that true? Are these the two people you hate most on planet Earth? And is it because they're Christian Zionists?
I wouldn't say, well, first of all, I think Christian Zionist would be an upgrade for Ted Cruz, who couldn't name the book of the Bible he said his theology came from. So I don't think Christianity, even in its perverted Zionist form, informs any opinion that Ted Cruz has, assuming he has authentic opinions. So that would be a compliment to call him a Christian Zionist. He's beneath that. I would say I criticized Shapiro and Levin for losing control of their emotions. I lost control of mine when I said that. I shouldn't have said that. I've apologized for it repeatedly. I'll do so again. I'm sorry that I said that because I don't hate Christian Zionists. I'm deeply frustrated with some evangelical leaders who are not preaching Christianity, but some sick, weird, culty version of it that puts...
I see y'all in the Discord. I see Dorsey, Shell, Leo, and Rogie in the Discord. If y'all want to join the Discord up, I'll be in there in like 10 minutes and we're going to have this conversation.
Benjamin Netanyahu ahead of Jesus. And that's not Christianity. It's totally wrong. And some of them are quite ruthless, I've learned personally. Franklin Graham, for example. I went in to see Trump. And Trump says, I just got a letter from Franklin Graham calling you an anti-Semite. Franklin Graham, an anti-Semite, really? Yes, and it's right here. He showed it to me. So I leave the meeting, and I immediately call Franklin Graham. I'm like, what? Why would you call me an anti-Semite? And why didn't you call me first? If you think I'm an anti-Semite, wouldn't you want to persuade me not to be? Because that's a pretty ugly thing to be. And as a Christian, as a fellow Christian, you want to talk. He wouldn't take my call. I went back and forth texting with his assistant like all day. Well, when can I...
I'm trying to figure out like how would this play out in the black community? Is that like somebody calling you a snitch, or just something just crazy? Like he's saying, oh, I went right out of the meeting. I called him like, what's up with you calling me anti-Semite? It's kind of like walking out of somewhere like that. What's up with you calling me? Like, I don't know, bro. This shit's crazy, bro. Tucker was on
Speak to him maybe next week. He's learning to be a private pilot.
Yeah, I see your chat now, Bobby. You said, can you see my chat? I see that one. Bobby said, they deleted that. It's right after my donation. Yeah, I see you now, Bobby. I see, can you see my chat? He's
74. He doesn't have time to at least account for a letter that he sent to Trump calling me an anti-Semite and telling Trump never to talk to me again. I'm like, that behavior is so unchristian and so low, so sneaky, so dishonest that it offends me as a Christian to see it conducted in the name of Jesus. I just think that that's really wrong. I don't think I have a monopoly on the truth. I don't think I'm a very good Christian. I'm not. But I don't think that's Christianity. I just don't. And I'm sorry that it makes Ted Cruz mad. As for Ted Cruz, he says he's running against me for president. I almost want to run for president just to debate Ted Cruz, because I think it would go about the way it went last time. And for my part, I deeply enjoyed it, which is why I've never tweeted about it, because I just keep that little spark of joy inside me for rainy days. And I think about that conversation and smile.
You know, Polymarket is running a who should be the Republican presidential nominee in 2028. J.D. Vance is in the 39%. Marco
Nah,
Rubio,
they're not
28%.
letting you type that. Whatever you trying to type, Bobby, it must be some shit, because they is not letting you type it. And if you going to join the Discord and get on the mic, man, be careful what you say, because I'm not trying to get demonetized now.
You may expect.
They're not letting you put it in the chat for a reason.
And then comes Ron DeSantis, but you're fifth, albeit at 2% at the moment. Ted Cruz is only 1%. So you're twice as popular as Ted Cruz already to be the Republican nominee. I mean, my question for you, Tucker, about that, I know you said you'll never do this, but I would ask the question and throw it back at you. Well, why wouldn't you? Given there's this huge ideological battle going on for the conservative right of America, and it's a real split like we've never seen before, and it's over so many issues now, and given that you're clearly on one side of this and clearly spearheading one part of this, why wouldn't you actually run to preserve the heart and soul of the Conservative Party as you see it?
It's not what I do. You know, I have no love of politics. I actually think it's disgusting. I don't understand it very well. It doesn't come naturally to me. Coalition building, you know, I just don't, where you kind of pretend you believe something or de-emphasize another belief in order to get people together to vote for the same person. That's not my default position. I just kind of say what I think. And so I don't know that I'd be good at it, A. B, I think it's very tough to be the president. I've learned that by watching over many years, and because you are constrained in ways that you should not be constrained, but you are. And it's not just because of Israel and its proxies, though that's the number one reason, but there are other reasons. And one is the size of the agencies. They're autonomous. They're countries. How do you get them under control? Some of them are dangerous. And so that's hard. It's really hard. I don't know that I'd be great at that. And there's a risk, of course, involved. And mostly because it's just not what I've done. And I hate egomania. I hate hubris and the idea like, I've been a successful cable news host, I should be president. Like, that whole way of thinking is disgusting to me. However, if I got to run against Ted Cruz and debate him again on camera, I would run for Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. I'd run for Pope. I'd run for head of the library board. I would run for anything for the opportunity to do that and watch Ted Cruz. And it appeals to the mean part of me, I think. All you need to do with Ted Cruz, another Harvard graduate, all the dumbest people went to Harvard. That's a talking point, but it's actually real. Ted Cruz went to Harvard. Bill Ackman, who's like a moron, went to Harvard. And Ben Shapiro went to Harvard. Anyway, if he's like this famously brilliant guy, silver-tongued Ted Cruz, he's going to be on the Supreme Court. You ask him the simplest question possible. I'm only capable of dumb questions because I'm not a genius. Like, what's the population of Iran? What Bible verse are you talking about? Dumb stuff. He can't answer any of it. Like, nothing. And that to me
to
was
escape
like
that no matter
amazing.
what.
It wasn't like
they're going to keep trying and they're going to keep trying to convince the people under that they're going to make through. And I think what ended up happening was
like, hey, Ted,
the people
who lives in Iran?
As
No
our
clue.
population grew, because you got to understand this was all happening simultaneously. Multiple things can be true at the same time, and this is what happened. As the population grew, these people that had power, and you got to understand that we have evil Luciferian families that have been passing down this knowledge for generations. You have all this stuff, and then the population's growing. How do you control a population? How do you do that? Well, you have to convince them that they are not where they are. You have to convince them that they are smaller than who they are. How do you do that?
Whoa.
Convince them that they are a
Somebody
speck
got a
of
TV
dust
on.
in an ever-evolving, expanding universe. You have to convince them of that. And once you can get past the first generation, then get passed down to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one.
All right, so Shells, you believe that we're in a firmament?
Oh, we're absolutely in a firmament. That's biblical.
I was just making sure. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what I'm gonna say is this. Hold on. What's up, y'all? Hold on. I'm gonna say this. Hold on. What's up, y'all? We are live, so I'm gonna ask y'all to have some decorum now, cause we live. I'm not trying to get demonetized. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. What's up now? What's up now? All right, now go ahead with the convo though. Where are y'all at in it? The live doesn't know where y'all are at. What's the convo about? All right, hold on, y'all.
Government.
Well, the thing is about Antarctica, before it was frozen, it was
Right. It is
Tartaria.
frozen right now. I mean, it's thawing a little
I said
because humans have
before
evolved too quickly for the Earth. That
it was
is what is
frozen.
happening right now.
Before it was frozen, it was probably Tartaria.
Yep, I can
It
agree.
was
Well,
what?
the Tartarians found it. Yes.
It was what?
The
Tartaria.
Tartarians. So the Tartarians are basically a very advanced civilization, and they basically covered where Russia, China, they covered that whole region. They amassed a huge amount of land, and honestly, they expanded probably into our
Like in
region because
Asia?
No.
yeah, all of Asia, but expanded beyond that because they found some ruins, Tartarian ruins throughout other civilizations, even over into like our region. They found some, they don't understand how they got here, but however, they did have the ability to travel via air. So the Tartarians were incredibly advanced, and they made it to Antarctica, and honestly, probably far beyond Antarctica, to be honest. And that's probably why they were destroyed. So the Tartarians are very, very fascinating if you go
You think they was
down that rabbit hole.
destroyed, or that
I
area of
added
land
it to my
was
notepad.
frozen?
What was that, Leo?
So you think they was destroyed, or that area of land that they was inhabiting was just frozen?
No, I believe that they were destroyed. Um,
I
I honestly do. Because power, and we can see this right now in our world right now, um, power succumbs to almost, I wouldn't even say just self-destruction, but an arrogance comes with power. And the more that power expands, then that makes them weak with arrogance. And then there's always somebody up and coming who wants that power, and with that comes destruction.
yeah,
And you
that's
see it
animals, man.
time after time.
Damn, my bad, chat. Hold on.
know how I think the dinosaurs, what they really were? There was a
Dinosaurs is
time.
not real.
Well, no, they're
I
real.
can't
They're real.
engage,
But
They're not gonna
what
be
I
able to
think they
hear
really
me.
were is, okay, so we as
Y'all can
humans
hear
used to
me,
live
but
up to
they won't be able
900
to hear
plus
me
years old.
if I
We used to do that. So
According
did
to the
animals.
go in
Bible,
there.
Ask your
what?
question.
One historical document.
Wait,
What other
wait.
document?
What?
Oh,
Wait, Shells.
what other document showed that we lived that long?
Wait, hold up.
Yeah, that's nah.
Wait,
Oh
Shells.
yeah.
Wait.
I'm sorry. 3 people are talking. I hear 3
Oh, I'm
voices. What's
sorry.
up?
I
No,
just
you're
was
not. Don't be
saying,
sorry.
cite your source was all. Like,
No,
where do
there's no
you
beyond the Bible. There are so many other historical sources that
like
cite
what?
that. Okay, so you not only have
Wait.
the Word of God, there are other there were doctors, lawyers, other people that cited what happened. Not only if you just go to just Jesus alone, just Jesus, not even the
Dinosaurs?
other people involved, but just him outside of the source of the Bible that lived in that time that sourced what happened just throughout that. That's just one example. That's
Wait,
just
hold
one
up.
example. That didn't. I mean, you can go, oh, this is such a big thing. You can go.
Shells. This
What?
is for is this for dinosaurs?
No, she's
She's talking about humans.
yeah, no,
Oh,
talking
you're
about
talking
like
about Nuha. Yeah.
if I'm understanding correctly, you're asking if there's anything that cites that the Bible is true outside of the Bible, correct?
No, I'm asking you, what other sources do you have that humans have lived for 900 years plus?
Oh, bones. That was we got bones. That was easier. That was much easier. We've got bones, and you can we've tested bones.
Interesting.
That was much easier.
Wait, hold up. I know they
don't
tested
get
out
that.
shits. Our bones is over 7 million years old. Y'all shits is probably
No,
like
there's no bones that are 7 million years old. The Earth isn't that old.
what?
Earth is like 40 billion years old.
Is you crazy?
No, it's not that old.
Yeah,
Oh my
it
God,
is.
it's so
Shells.
old.
Shells.
Dude,
Shells.
dinosaurs lived so
Shells.
long
Wait,
ago.
hold up. Shells, you need to look up the bones on African Americans because they said that our bones is like 7 million years old, right?
Okay.
And the Caucasian bones is only 40,000.
Just
Okay.
share it in the chat.
This is why I be saying that basically a lot of the shit that we follow basically
Humans are a max 3 million years ago, period.
I mean, if that's true, then that contradicts the word of God. So
It does. But
The
like, who
thing-
told you the word of God?
Well,
Did God tell you that? Because we can't take a human's version of what
exactly.
God,
This
quote
is the
unquote,
thing.
told them and take that as
the
fact.
book,
not a
the book
human,
that we
and
follow.
listen, you have to understand God was a human. So you have to be. I have to, like, I won't discredit what Jesus himself said because I
And
answered
that's
to him.
fine. But you're
Yeah.
taking what Jesus said by what someone else
Yes.
said because Jesus never wrote a book.
1,000%, 1,000,000%.
Right.
Because
And
look,
that's
if I
fine.
trust any of these
Oh.
scientists, listen, baby, if I trust any of these scientists who are lying, literally can sin. They can sin. They can lie to us. I mean, look at we're at war right now. We're at war right now because of people who lied to us.
For the
If
people
I
who
trust
wrote the
any of
books
these
of what
people
Jesus
over
said can lie
Jesus, who will
too.
determine my eternal place forever, Jesus.
And that is
Hold
totally
on 1
fine.
second, chat. 1 second, y'all.
Preach.
I
Can
don't
y'all
know if
hear
you
me?
was here when we first got in the Discord, Bill,
Yo,
but I was saying,
I
basically,
was sorry.
what if they want you to believe
chat. Can
that it
y'all
was
hear
only
still?
one person, right, that reached this
Yo,
potential of higher power type shit,
eh,
which it was
You're
yo.
talking about Jesus, plug.
Can y'all hear
but
me?
yeah,
Y'all
like I was
can?
saying in the
Yo,
movie of the book of
Clarence, the book of Clarence.
it
yo.
shows
I
you
knew it.
it was a lot of higher powers after Jesus, gave them or touched them or whatever, right? So, like I said in the book, if y'all ain't see the book of Clarence, right?
Why did he kick me out? Wow, chat. Hold on, man. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Yo, can y'all hear me?
Benedict Cumberbatch. A name.
I can't even hear plug. I don't.
Man.
He's still YouTube.
Yo, can y'all hear me now? Now I got an echo. Damn.
Is he there?
Can y'all hear me?
He's there.
See it on the thing.
Okay,
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right, now chat. Can y'all hear me over there on YouTube? Chat. Press 1 if y'all can hear me. Okay, all right, man. Now they was trying to get me involved in the convo and where y'all can hear it. Okay, we back now. All right, go ahead, y'all.
Okay.
I can talk now.
Now we cooking.
Now we good.
Earlier they said y'all sounded underwater. Do they sound underwater?
We good?
Are we good?
All right, yeah, go ahead. So they were saying drop the proof, Leo, about black folks being old. That's where I left off on the convo. Y'all can keep going.
Oh,
wait. Drop the proof of what?
I thought that's isn't that what wrote hold on.
I don't know. Something about how your bones are older than my bones.
Well, no, you said
We
that
got to pull out driver's licenses.
it was the
I'm sorry,
listen.
IDs.
It was
my bad.
It was the first thing that you said. Basically, you said that we live to be something.
900 years old.
No, that was no. I said that.
Yeah, that's what you said. That's what you said.
Back. No, not. Okay.
I didn't say
This is back in
anything
the time
about.
of like. Yes, this is back in the time of like Moses and Noah and things like that. They lived to be hundreds of years old. They did. Okay.
Did they have a different calendar?
Yeah, everyone has a different calendar than what we have right now.
Well, that's what I'm being
different
still
calendar
too,
than we
though.
have.
Like, is that 900 years based on a different calendar than what we currently
13
use?
months.
It's not
13 months.
really. I wouldn't
Listen,
say
let me
it's
put it to you this way.
900 years.
So
Yeah.
what does oct mean? What does oct mean?
I would say it's like 300 years.
Oct means 10.
Oh, oct, 8.
Oct means 10. So what month is October?
I would say it would be like 300
Leo,
years.
hang on. What month is October? I mean, I'm sorry. Oct is
supposed
yes,
to
but
be.
oct doesn't mean.
It's supposed
I'm
to be
sorry. 8. Sorry. Thank you. I did it backwards.
Yeah.
The oct means 8, but it's the 10th month.
7.
It is the 10th month. You are correct.
Exactly. All of them are off. The reason that they're off is because they rearranged our months.
Because they used a different calendar, or
no, they changed the calendar. They didn't use a different one. They changed it to. They messed it all up.
Calendar.
Yeah.
They changed the calendar, but they're using a different one. The calendar
Right.
they
So and they didn't.
is Gregorian. Basically, this is what I was saying. Basically, the New Year's is in April.
Right. Which is why like February on days, and some months are longer than other months. It's because they had to rearrange what to do with those extra. They shortened it right by a month.
And the Gregorian calendar typically doesn't work anyway.
Well, nah, technically.
Civilization use the lunar calendar.
Wait, hold
on.
No, wait, let's hear it.
Hold on. We gotta let Dorsey talk because his mic fucked up. So when Dorsey talk, we gotta let him talk. We can't cut Dorsey. I don't know. His mic got a lot of wind. Are you outside, Dorsey?
It definitely is catching wind.
No, I'm right here. I'm not.
Oh, it might be me.
I'm not doing nothing.
Well, take us off speaker then. Nah, you could talk, but you just don't put it to your ear. Go ahead. We can't hear you. You muted.
Most ancient civilization based their calendar on the lunar calendar, meaning every 28-day cycle of the moon.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's the calendar that we should be going by because every month is supposed to be 28 days. It starts on a Monday and ends on a Sunday.
And look at
month.
female cycles, right? They're typically a 28-day cycle as well. So it makes sense that a human would follow the same cycle as the rest of the universe, right?
This is why I be trying to say, like, the religion.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. That
they push y'all out, type shit.
And if you look at the Jewish calendar starts with the springtime and then ends in the winter.
Exactly.
Not like I guess the Augustan calendar,
It
which is the
it
Roman.
start it starts off with April, right? And it ends with March.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because that
So
means new
so
life. April
so
That's
means
that
so
new
should be the
life.
interesting.
so
And I love
basically
that because that's spring.
that's the
Spring
calendar
is
that we should
sprung.
be
Spring brings new life.
Yes. So many
basically
flowers grow.
that's the calendar that we should be following, but they got us on a different frequency. We're
But
not
is
on the
it
same
still
frequency
12-ish
that
months
they're on.
though? Like, is it still the same cadence? I guess
It's
that's the question here.
it's
It's like maybe it's
warfare.
different. Like, pardon?
It's warfare, basically.
Dorsey, when you're not talking, you gotta mute up. Your mic, your wind. Hold on, Dorsey. Dorsey, leave and come back. Leave and come back. Your mic is
Is it my
bad.
wind?
Nah, it's Dorsey mic. He gotta leave and come back. We can't hear it. We can't hear
Yeah, I'll be
nothing.
right back.
All right.
Okay, definitely come back.
All
I
right,
will.
go
I
ahead.
will. I gotta finish
I
up
like you,
something
Shell.
and I'll be back.
I enjoy
I'll be back.
you.
I'll be
Guys,
back,
you
honey.
All right, Dorsey, you back? Oh, he didn't. You gotta leave and come back in, Dorsey.
guys, can you
Is
hear me?
Or
he
maybe what it is,
Brando?
Dorsey, you could have your phone plugged up. Now is your phone on the charger? Cause it'll do that if your phone on the charger too.
Oh, I
Yo,
just
can you
saw
hear me, guys?
a expletive where it was like Dorsey. Is that shit flinging monkey?
Yeah,
I mean, poop flinging monkey. I'm sorry, I didn't forgot
yeah,
about the whole watch your language, but saw like the little, orange circle with an exclamation point saying that the service wasn't great.
yeah. That's Dorsey's server.
Rayanne, Rayanne.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, hi.
How you doing? You
You
right, yeah?
need a picture.
Nah, that's fine. I don't need picture.
It could be
But
anything.
yeah, all
Wait,
right. I'll put something later.
I'm just kidding. Sorry.
No worry, nice, all right.
I'll be
before
But
you
can I
before
can
you
I
pick
can I?
that
s-
picture, did anyone
Yeah.
ever see Gilgamesh in the front of the Tower of Babel?
No.
Look it up.
Go ahead, Ryan. You got the floor.
Yeah, cool. So, but I was about to talk about something else. If you're happy, all.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I just want to back to the war is happening right now. So you just talk with each other about the things happening, and what we was talking about the possibility of attacking with the soldiers now, because Trump just started, right? So what I was thinking, I said, okay, so you send the troops there, but there's no chance to win that war. Do you think there's any chance that the USA win that war?
It like I said, it depends on what we define it as a win.
Oh
So
my God. I feel like I missed that because I was about to say define a win. And I'll mute
correct.
myself and you can go. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we have
cool.
to
What's your
define
definition?
remaining the hegemon. Now, if we get pushed all the way out of the Middle East and we can't remain the hegemon, or have a lot of control, like keep tensions, keep shit from just going all the way to hell over there, because we have a lot of our investments come from the GCC. The GCC pours a lot of money into our market, so we
Mm-hmm.
have incentive to keep that area stable. Also, if we could get the Strait of Hamas under a sort of control where we are the beneficiary, that I would consider that a win, and keep Iran from getting the nuclear weapons. Of course, that's the whole basis of going there. So
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah,
those
that, that's
would be
that's
the
that's
wins.
exactly the point I was talking about. Yeah, but what I'm saying, like, can US take the Hormuz back, or
But
what?
also,
What do you
like,
think?
why should US
Hey, hold up.
be the hegemon in that area?
Wait, hold on.
Right? No?
Um,
That's a
You
US
it's a,
dollar.
so if we're gonna say why should the US be it, are we talking on
Yeah.
a moral standpoint, or are we talking about geopolitics, strategic?
We're talking about a world standpoint.
On a
It's an
world
Wait, wait, wait,
entire
standpoint,
wait,
it's
world. Why should
because
the
wait,
entire
wait, 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 wait.
world,
Don't distract
us
it. Don't
being the
don't don't
ones
get
who control
distracted.
that?
Don't get distracted. That's immoral. Yeah, exactly. That's
Okay.
immoral. But don't
all
get
this shit is a
distracted. Yeah.
distraction already.
let's back to the conversation. So what I'm thinking is the point you said that makes US win the war. I said it's not gonna be achieved if if even if they went with the troops there, yeah. So do you think there's any chance that they win?
Yes.
Okay, go on. You explain me why.
Um, it'll be some sacrifices going on. It'll be a lot of sacrifices going on. But if we're looking at a long term, these groups of people are looking at it long term. Yeah, I think that I think they nuke it, bro. I think they nuke it. I think they show the world that this is the
Okay.
new world. I
No,
think
no,
they
no.
show the world.
Bro. Before you move into nukes, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's talk about the troops. Let's talk about the troops that they want to send at the moment. Do
correct.
you think it's gonna be a win?
Hold on, Dorsey. Yeah, you sound a lot better now. Go ahead, Ryan. Finish.
Because I'm saying no. I can claim no, and I'm gonna explain you. But you saying yes. But let's hear you first.
Yeah, I'm saying that before it's all said and done, before they pull all the way out and just let China control the area or let that Pax Islamica come, there will be nukes drop, whether it's United States or whether it's Israel. That's just my opinion.
Okay, I'm saying there's not gonna be a nukes war, and I can explain it. But
Definitely
for
not.
the troops, let me tell you first, and then we're going for the nukes here. For the troops, if you think about like Iran back in the day when it was fighting 8 years war with Iraq, with less soldier, less equipment, under sanction, and all of that. So let's look at the static about the war. So Iran had 600,000 soldiers confront of hundred and um hundred and I think if I'm not mistaken, it was 150. Nah, actually, it was more. 150,000, something like that. Yeah. So it was like more than double soldier they had. Yeah. And the tanks was even it was less than a half of them. The artillery and the jets and all of that, it was way less than them. And also there was actively like support by Western government, mostly in Europe government, not US, but US helped them as well, intelligence wise. So Iran was a country which was back from the revolution. There was nothing there. So the people only went to war with the moral, nothing else. It was no, like, it was a point. If you go to the history of that war, there was a point that the people was running without no guns to just open the line for the tanks and all of that to just get get through get through, like, and get closer to the enemy. So them
Correct. Yeah, I
people,
mean that's
like,
jihad. That they've already
yeah,
invoked jihad.
that's
We
exactly what
see
I'm
that.
talking.
Right.
There's no such a thing in the U.S. military. So they are. I don't want to be like rude, but they are, bro. Like, they're not sacrificing like that. Do you know what I mean? They're not
No,
sacrificing their life
no,
like
of
that.
course, yeah, we've covered that. So let's
Hey,
go
hold
to the
on.
nuclear.
Okay,
Hold
so
on,
that
Dorsey.
that's
Hold on,
that.
Dorsey.
Okay,
I'm trying to hear him
but
out. Let's hear the nuclear.
okay. So that's a moral side. For the troops, Iran at the moment holding a 1.5 million soldier. Yeah, so it's not kind of like in unfair, like, it's not unfair fight. It's gonna be like a proper fight and a lot of casualty. So, like, if you looking at map of Iran, there's a Strait of Hormuz which is like 30 kilometers something, and it's not 30 kilometer wide, which is can use to get to the Iran. There's only like maybe 15 mile that you can
Right. We
use,
kn- we
like
kn- we
15
know
20
the lay of the
kilometer.
land. We know the lay of the land. I'm trying to get to the point. We know the lay of the land.
Yeah, cool. So if they want to attack, they can't invade fully at the same time. So it will be loose in military wise. So you're talking about nukes. Okay, Iran is huge. Iran is not Nagasaki or Hiroshima and that. It's a small cities, and like, they can get damaged with one bomb. Iran is huge.
Right.
Iran
But
is
did you
too huge.
Did you see
So
the
okay,
nukes that we tested off the coast the other day?
it
Did you?
doesn't matter, bro. It
It
doesn't
doesn't.
matter.
Okay.
Whatever
Have
you
you
got,
not
not
seen what
enough.
Gaza look like?
You talking
No,
about
no,
the
no. I'm
laser
telling you.
shit?
Wait. I'm telling you. So,
I'm
like you're
just
talking
saying,
about
like
like a
I'm
huge
saying,
nuke.
like these people are calling for Armageddon. They're calling for the third temple to be built, the new
Let,
Messiah,
let,
and
yeah.
we're
Let me
saying
finish.
that
Let me finish.
I just
This
disagree
guy
with
is
you.
talking a lot of
Okay,
nonsense.
let
Yeah.
them
Let
finish.
me
Let them
wait,
finish.
wait,
I
wait, wait.
just
Hold on.
disagree with them.
So there's
I
two
don't think he
there's two
understands Trump. I don't
strategies.
think he understands it.
Yeah, cool. Well, let me explain you
I
why
don't
they
think he
come.
understand
So there's
military reality, bro.
But no one
wait,
wants to
what?
drop nukes,
Go
though.
ahead. Yes, they
No,
do. They
They're not
definitely
going to
want to
drop
drop
nukes.
news. They definitely want to.
Hold on,
Go
guys,
ahead. Go
They're
ahead.
not
Let them
going to,
finish.
though.
Hold on. You can see. Okay, let them
So
finish. Damn.
there's two possibility way that they can attack nukes with nukes. There's Israel and there's US. First let's go with US. US can't get rid of my country, yeah, that easy. Why? Because that's a huge country. You can't nuke it at the same time, everywhere at the same time. So you have to go with wave by wave. Before the last wave receive, yeah, my country gonna launch fucking missiles toward the Israel, and they're gonna nuke the nuclear power that they got, and which is disaster for them. So Israel, which is leading this war, not US, they're not gonna agree to to that matter. You know what I mean? So if they wanna Israel wanna do that now, we're gonna go with Israel. So Israel is a small. They can't do it itself. They have to use US backup like a jets and everything to carry them, and they don't have like a B-2 bomber. They have to go to US. So as soon as they wanna do that, they have to move the stuff from the facilities to the launcher and to the like jets and everything. So Russia and China, they helped in Iran with the intelligence information they got from the satellites. So as soon as they want to do it, it takes time. So they know that there's a plan of nuking Iran. So they're gonna tell them, and they're gonna go for the first attack, and they're gonna attack the same place that they're moving their stuff. So do you know what I mean? So there's no chance that they're doing it. And also there's another reason.
You getting
So
kind of
if they
long
wanna do
winded,
it,
bro.
there's
Cause
there's no.
I just disagree with
Yeah,
you.
go on,
I no, I'm just
go on.
saying that I just disagree
You tell
with
me,
you.
bro.
You're saying that Russia and China attack. What I'm saying is I don't think they care. They're calling for Armageddon. This is like you said, these people don't have a reason to fight what Israel does. Just like you're saying American soldiers aren't as vested. Israel is as vested. They we've seen guys or we've seen the lengths that they will go. We've already heard rumblings of the nuke being tested. Trump just
Why
off the coast of
why
Cali.
not
Hold
why
on,
not
let me
did they not
finish.
tell
Hold
him?
on, let me finish. I let you be kind of long with it. So can I finish?
Go on.
So
Yeah,
they
go on.
tested the nuke off the coast of California that's the size of 20 Hiroshimas. I see that you say they can't nuke the whole country. They don't have to nuke the whole country. Of course, there will be rural areas. The rural areas are going to be the ones that will continue, the uprisings and little militias. But once they clear out the main shit, the cities and shit like that, these people it's just going to be a whole different landscape. Now, I hear you talking about Russia, China. China will probably take Taiwan in response. Oh well, that's what we have the CHIPS Act for. We've been prepared for China to take Taiwan. Russia will probably encroach, do something with Ukraine. Oh well, Trump already said Zelensky can fight his little heart out. That's where you see Macron getting his nuclear arsenal ready. Yes, I do think that this has potential to go nuclear. And I guess we'll just disagree right there. I'll let you finish and then we'll kick it to some other panelists.
Yeah, cool. So like I never said the Chinese gonna come and help Iran to nukes everywhere. Yeah, I'm saying they're gonna give you information. They're gonna give Iran information that they can know that like they wanna attack. So like for example, there's a gap between they wanna attack and they wanna be prepared, right? So it's gonna be like what, like maybe 1 hour, 2 hour, yeah. So they know what they wanna happen, what they want to do. You know what I mean? So like before they wanna do it, they're gonna attack You know the Israel sites. Do you know about if they nukes the site? If they not nukes, I mean like if they missile the power point, you know what they're gonna happen? It's gonna be finished. The Israel gonna be finished. So they're
And
not gonna do that.
that's what I'm saying. I think that they've calculated for all of that. Well, we can go in circles with this for a little while, but I think some other panelists want to ask you some questions and respond. You kind of got my answer. We just disagree. So go ahead, Dorsey, and then we'll go to
Cool.
Leo and Rogie.
Wait, me
Okay, first
first.
of all,
I just want to say I thought that was a telescope, and you guys can all go to the chat from the voice stream and look at it. That's all.
okay. First of all, I trained in NC warfare, nuclear, biological, and chemical warfare when I was in the military. I did the artillery. I was with the artillery. We did mutual training with NATO on how to use the nuclear scenario, meaning we were locked up in our radiation, waiting like a motherfucker, 3 or 4 days, commit these exercises. First of all, but they're not going to use because first of all, the fallout at all over. I'm talking
Well, you get
about
you
high
get cut.
levels of
You
radioactivity.
cutting. Is that for me or you cutting?
He does cut out his mic's just a little ass, bro. Go ahead, Dorsey.
Yeah, I just sent it in the
Hello, can
chat
you hear
too.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go
Can
on.
you
Go
We
on.
hear
can
Go
me?
on.
hear you.
It's cause
You're
he.
just
I think
cutting
it's
off.
cause he laying back and trying to be uncomfortable while he talking. I don't know.
Get
No, I'm not uncomfortable
uncomfortable,
talking.
bro.
I'm about to say, who talking?
We're
Dorsey
trying
and
to
every
hear it.
other word keeps cutting out. You would say like 3 words and then you just cut out.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go on.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh,
Talk
okay.
just
Perfect. Beautiful.
talk how you was just talking, so it can go straight
Okay,
through type shit.
fallout is going to spread everywhere, so they can't set off any bombs because of the high radioactivity
You
spread
went in and out.
everywhere, not only
Yeah,
in
you
Iran.
need you back cutting out, Dorsey. It's gotta be your service because you get that little orange bubble. Are you in bad service?
No, I ain't in bad service.
All right, go ahead.
So fallout, let's just say nuclear fallout is one of the reasons why they ain't going to use
Nuclear
it, and I'll leave
fallout.
it at that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay,
But
so Dorsey
one
says
more thing.
nuclear fallout. Go ahead.
Because the man doesn't know
One
I
what
think
he's
nuclear
saying.
fallout is part. I think nuclear fallout, to Dorsey's point, is part of prophecy. I think the nuclear fallout, and then I also don't think they honestly care. I mean,
I ain't gonna.
they already blew up the civilian oil rig. Those people in Bahrain are gonna have cancer in the next 15, 20 years, breathing all that shit in. I don't think they give a
Right,
fuck.
but plug, I ain't gonna hold you. It shows you in all the shit that niggas is watching now. We know these volcanoes is about to erupt. They're giving us the source
What
now.
volcanoes?
Every volcano, Yellow
Yellowstone? You saw the
Yellowstone,
stuff about the
all,
animals leaving?
all these other fucking volcanoes that's everywhere else is probably gonna erupt. That's probably gonna. Well, we probably got like a good 3 more
I
years.
think y'all think I
If
think
that.
that y'all really
But that's
believe we're dealing with
natural.
sane people. I think that I think that y'all really that's where I see where we're disagreeing. Y'all think that these people have rationale that we're dealing with. I do not think these people have any rationale. I don't think these people have any regard for human life. I think that these people are ready to burn it to the ground so they can rebuild it anew.
Of course.
You can't say y'all and encompass us all because I agree
I'm
with
saying
that.
the people that's kind of disagreeing with me with it going nuclear. I think we're
Oh,
dealing with acceleration. It's right here, right now.
oh,
This
we
is
are
the
going
end time.
nuclear. I'm scared about that though.
But I'm not
Because
gonna.
if we do, the entire world is going to die. Because the problem is that one person throws one, the next person is like, oh, that person threw one. I'm going to throw one. And then the next four people are like, I'm going to throw five. And then the first person is going to be like, oh shit, or poop, I'm going to throw eight. Right.
I
So
think
I
then
don't
I
think
think
it
we're
there's
gonna
goes
get a
there.
full war.
I don't think it goes that far. What I think it is, I do think it'll be maybe 3 countries. And I think America's gonna let that bad boy go off. That's like 20 Hiroshimas, and then it's gonna get quiet, and that's when they're gonna try to usher in that 1,000 years of peace that they need for the prophecy.
I'm not gonna hold you, plug. I don't think any of us got nuclear bombs. We probably got
Man,
EMPs.
I'm in fucking Arkansas, man. We got a
Arkansas right
nuclear
now.
facility in Camden right now. Motherfucker working at that bitch,
Yeah,
boy.
we probably got nuclear facilities, but I don't think they're trying to actually set it off.
I do.
You already
And
know the
listen,
prophecy
this
is
is the
they're
thing.
trying to put us into one world order.
You got to think
They're
that
not
a
trying to
lot of
destroy the other side of the
this
world.
country that we're dealing with, this little bitty country the size of New Jersey, they don't believe we're human. They believe they are human. They don't believe we're human. So they have no regard for this kind of life at times. Allegedly. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
yes.
So if they do whenever they do that, I guarantee you someone is gonna
That's
let
not going
off
to
an
stop a
EMP.
nuclear bomb,
It would
sir.
stop it.
It would
Technically.
not stop it, technically.
What makes you not think it would not stop
What
it?
makes you? So why don't you just explain how it would stop it, and then we'll go from there.
It's a EMP.
Oh, they cut my stream out, y'all.
It's electric who is electric.
Man, I said this shit and I think they cut the stream, bro.
Electromagnetic
Wow.
Pulse,
That's
like
what it is.
it's supposed
An
to shut
EMP is not
everything
going to stop
off.
a nuke.
It's supposed to kill it basically. So if the shit does hit, it's not gonna do nothing. It's supposed to be dead type shit.
Right, but like, how many nuclear warheads are going to be shot anywhere
I'm
without
about to
being
say
hardened against an EMP attack?
wait, hold up. Who let off the last? This is the thing too.
America.
We're going off.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct. And everyone decided they were not going to do it again because
exactly.
when one
But
person
at
does it,
now,
everyone else is going to
but
do it, and
now,
they're going to destroy the fucking
listen,
the
but
world.
at that
Wait,
time,
wait,
but
wait.
listen, that's the thing. That's the thing. That was now we have
Talking about
AI.
the
They
atom
ran.
bomb?
Listen, yes, that we got AI. They probably ran these simulations, and they looking at it like, man, look, it's probably like a 41% chance that the Earth survives
Plug.
and we become gods.
Wait.
And listen,
Wait,
hold
hold
on,
up.
Leo,
Hold
quit
up.
cutting me off. No, let me finish, nigga. And these people are bringing on Armageddon. They have no regard for life. This is prophecy that they are trying to fulfill. And I'm not just saying this, they're saying
I
it.
feel that.
They are saying this shit. And I don't understand like why we're not listening to them. Like, are y'all not
I
hearing?
agree.
This is not Obama. This is not George W. Bush. This is not Bill Clinton. Man, we're dealing with Donald Trump and fucking Netanyahu right now, bruh. Kim Jong-un and Putin, bruh. Like, these people don't give a fuck, man.
Still the script.
Right. And I
They're still
agree.
playing their role.
The script
But I
can
also feel
listen.
like
The script is Armageddon. That's what I'm telling you, man.
it
Do
is.
you not know that
It
they
is.
want to
Plug.
take the population down to 500 million? They've been talking about this shit. If you want all that, you know about the. Okay, so why do you not
I
think
know
this
that.
shit going
Yeah,
nuclear?
you're
How the
right.
fuck else is they gonna get it to 5 million or
Exactly.
Not
5?
And that
nuclear
is
though.
so funny. I was just talking about this over dinner.
If they do
Why
nuclear,
does that woman, hold on, why is that woman over the Department of Homeland, that was over fucking the housing authority, why is she running around on everybody podcast talking about 22 trillion of our fucking deficit went to these underground facilities because they know this shit finna happen? She says it's over 190 underground facilities all connected under the United States waiting for Armageddon. The lady that used to work for the fucking department, the housing, the DHS lady, she was under the Bush and Clinton administration. She running around on everybody interview saying right now that's where 20 trillion of our debt went to. Cause they waiting on this shit.
2 seconds. That's why y'all motherfuckers better watch Paradise.
Oh, he's talking about some fucking show.
It tells you
I'm just saying, we talk about the Book of
everything
Clarence.
that you
We're talking about
watch is telling
Paradise.
you. Paradise is showing you that we're supposed to supposedly get hit by a nuclear missile, but the volcanoes erupt. But they go into the fucking cave. They go into fucking Colorado. They dig out Colorado Mountain. So they live in Colorado for the next 5 years or whatever. whatever how long
5
it
years
is.
is not enough, but yeah.
5 years is technically enough type shit.
It's not, but okay. Not if there's an entire nuclear
He talking about it ain't no
entire
nukes. He's saying that it's gonna be some volcanoes erupt before the nukes. Leo far off, man. I'm not agreeing with Leo, man. I think these folks, man, it's 3 years, man. Now or never. They trying to bring on Armageddon, man. If they,
Plug. If we get hit by anything, we're gonna hit. We're gonna get hit by the Russians. They're gonna hit us with EMPs.
man,
They're
listen.
not gonna try to nuke us.
It's not about the Russian trying to nuke us. See, y'all keep thinking about us being nuked. Look how self-centered we are. Look how self-centered we are as Americans. No, you talking about Russian? Yes, it is. You just said us. I'm talking about Netanyahu and Trump nuking Iranians.
Plug. We live in the ancient land. Everything is here. They're not gonna try to destroy it.
Are you talking about America? America is not the ancient land, sir.
America is definitely the ancient land. That's why they try
not
to
the
get you
ancient
to
land.
look everywhere else.
Bro, it's just only 300 years, bro.
Like what?
But it's like 300 years.
We're living in the ancient land right now. America is the ancient land. That's why they renamed Israel after fucking World War II. That's not Israel now.
Hey, watch the F-bombs.
It's not that old, but it's not that old. But what I'm saying, like, US is not even involved in that nukes. What gonna happen after even if the nukes? It's gonna be a civilian war in US any soon if they use like nukes or not. You know, it's gonna happen. The civilian war is gonna happen in US. But what gonna happen to Russia? Russia doesn't want to nuke you. Russia gonna nuke Europe's, and it's gonna be a power of there, and Israel is gonna be a power of Middle East, and China is gonna be power of Asia. But what I'm saying, there is no need to nuke Iran. The nuking Iran it doesn't help them because they need
It feels
Iran.
for prophecy. That's what I'm saying. It feel nuking Iran helps feel prophecy. That's what they're trying to do.
Nuke Iran either because in prophecy they need first. I'm gonna say plug. They need to get the They need to get the tablets of Gilgamesh.
Hey, plug. What part of the prophecy
out of Iran? That's why they're fighting with Iran right now. They need to get the tablets.
Man, man, listen, I don't think they need to get no motherfucking tablets. I think they just need to build their temple. I think they got everything they need, man. They ain't said nothing about no tablets, man. Where Top Cat at, man? Where is Top Cat? Where is Top Cat at, man? We need we need the Hebrew is we need the Israelite in here, man.
Plug, I'm telling you,
I knew it.
The tablets of Gilgamesh is basically gonna give up all the religions
Where
that
does
niggas
where
follow.
does it say? Where does it say? What I'm trying to say is this: where in
Adam before he had kids.
But what I'm telling you is this: where in the damn Torah does it say they got to get the tablets of Gilgamesh before they rebuild the third temple?
They're looking for Gilgamesh right now.
Okay, so
all of them is looking for Gilgamesh right now.
So they say that they gotta have those tablets before they rebuild the temple.
So it don't corrupt what they're doing. That's why they're going to war with Iran. All of that. So
but Iran, not Iran.
So if we find the tablets and saying that Gilgamesh killed Abraham before he even thought about making religions, everything that we're following is forced. No one's gonna believe it. So basically, why they're going to war with Iran, so they can get these tablets, so you can still believe in these fucking religions. So when they force that one world order, y'all gonna go everyone's going to go under Muslim religion. They're not gonna push Christianity no more. It's gonna be Muslim. I guarantee.
Hello. You guys have been busy. I've been trying
Welcome
to
back, Joe.
So there's
You're
two
too
other
far away
reasons.
again.
Yes, I had to finish. I had to finish taking a shower and everything, and I wasn't going to try to talk to you guys through that. So there we go, Sam.
You're super far away.
Yeah, let me talk about two. Let me talk about
about
two
it.
other reasons. Two other reasons that they're not gonna nuke. So first you say the China don't give a damn about Iran. No, that's wrong. Like if you know about today, they say okay, we're gonna let some ships go if they wanna trade with the yuan of the China's currency. So they need that 20% of the oil control like Chinese. So they're gonna give their power to Iran if Iran win the war. So that's a war for Iran to prove that like each government that they can the country is capable of being like a power for the shift the power shift happening around the world. So they need it. That's why they give the intelligent information to Iran at the moment. So all the like targets you see like they're doing, most of them is coming from the Chinese intelligence. And also, there's another reason they're not gonna nuke that area because that's a 20% of the oil, like flow. So they don't want to nuke it, and they're not gonna be able to use that oils, you know. So they need it healthy. They need it healthy as possible. So they might be go for the like a structure and like the oil facilities and all of that, but they don't wanna nuke it. That's what I'm thinking. So even I'm saying like US gonna lose, but who's gonna win? Israel, which is side of US, So
I think
Israel
they
is
do though. Hey,
yeah. So
Wiz, can I say something about that part though?
They made
Is
just
I,
can I
I I
finish it?
agree.
Israel
Like,
after two.
Can give
They
me like
made
20,
Israel
20
Israel
seconds.
after World War II.
nah.
Yeah,
You can
Listen,
no,
replace the place where it
back
is,
when
like how they
oh
we
replace
my
started with
everything
Saudi
else.
Arabia, America was buying all the oil from Saudi Arabia. Now America is the biggest producer of oil. I personally
Correct.
think
no
two
no no
things.
that's wrong. That's wrong. The
No,
calculation
that
you're
is not
doing.
wrong,
That's
bro. We are
wait, hold
exporting
on.
now. We are not importing. We don't
No
need
no no no
Saudi
no
oil. I think
hold on, hold on.
we're fucking turning our backs on Saudi because we don't need them.
That's
What's
the
the,
I think
what's
we
the
XO.
want
oil,
to destabilize the region so we can sell more Venezuelan oil.
I'm not.
bro? How many oil?
ExxonMobil
How
said,
many
"Hey
I'm
barrels?
not
man,
gonna hold
this
you.
is not
Hey,
profitable."
Nix,
Next
you
thing you
loud
know,
as
they're
hell.
working with
Nix,
Iran.
hold on, Nix, you loud as hell. I don't know why your mic's so
Oh,
loud,
I'm
but yeah,
sorry.
you yelling.
My
Go
bad.
ahead.
Next, I ain't
Well,
gonna
It's
hold
I'll
you.
try to
it's
talk
passionate.
Wait,
softer
hold
Yeah,
up.
because
yeah,
I
yeah,
do
Next,
talk loud
that's
too.
true.
next, before you continue, I ain't gonna hold you. I believe they're actually looking for weapons of war, old
Yeah,
biblical weapons. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
hold
I
you.
get that.
That's
That's
what
the
they look.
Iraqi thing. I
That's
don't
basically
really
what
get
they're looking
all
for.
into
I'm not
that.
gonna hold you.
But I do agree with Plug that you got crazy motherfuckers that do get all into that, and that is another part of the problem. But there's the economic side to it too. We're exporting more oil than we were back in 1944. We were exporting nothing. We were getting everything from Saudi. And now that we're good, I think we're turning our back on Saudi, and we don't give two fucks if Saudi blows up their
bro, you
shit.
got
We
lack
don't
What's
of
give two
the
oil,
fucks if Iran
bro.
blows up their shit. That's good for us
Bro,
either way.
US got lack of oil, bro. What exporting you talking about? US using 20
It's
barrel
because
million
we
barrels
haven't what
a day,
so it's
and they
because
they they're producing only 13,
hold
13,
on.
13 million barrel. You get so you got lack of oil as well.
Right. But Trump just
Unnecessarily.
commissioned a $300 billion oil refinery, and I believe Brownsville, Texas is down there in the Gulf of America. It's supposed to be one of many. There's supposed to be, because the problem isn't us getting the oil out of the ground. I mean, especially when oil prices are this high, it's actually profitable. It's that we can't refine it here. But Trump has put an initiative out. I know 300 billion to the oil refinery going to the Gulf of Mexico, and it's supposed
Wait,
to be one of many.
wait, hold
Look,
up.
we have
That's
a
it.
lot of
Wait, wait,
oil
wait,
and we
wait.
are getting it and we are exporting it. And the reason
We've
that we're
been net
still quote unquote
exporting since Obama,
importing,
I'm gonna say that's
look,
crazy
that's
though.
what I'm saying. And
Wait,
the point is that we have a lot and we're trying to keep a lot, right?
and we
So we're
just
trying
took
to
Venezuela's.
have this big farce and take it from everyone else, right?
Well, here's my thing
And
is
also,
they
if
obviously
we
know
take
that
from Venezuela's and we
wait.
yeah,
choke out the Strait of Hormuz and China can't get their oil, then not only do the tariffs make things more expensive for us to
Wait.
buy from China, but also their productivity gets lower, meaning they got to sell things more expensively as well. So now their shit's more expensive and they got tariffs on top of that. If
Wait,
you
hold up.
want to think 4D chess and shit like that economically, and then we're not even talking about the dollar, we're forcing Saudi Arabia to stay away from the BRICS.
All right,
Yeah, I need tons of tungsten and it's
all right,
super expensive this year.
all right. But hold up. What kind of oil y'all think this is? Y'all think this is dinosaur fossil fuel or giant
Crude
fossil fuel?
oil.
The fuck.
Crude oil.
Y'all gotta look up the files. But I'm saying, usually,
What file?
This is not
So you
only
know,
this is the kind of oil used not only for industry but also for our like homes.
Yes, plastics and using in homes for heating and whatever and energy.
Also, if we force Saudi Arabia to keep using just dollars for petro, and then we start net selling oil for petro dollars and everything, then we can continue printing. If we move to BRICS, we will not be able to print the same way.
We'll never move to BRICS.
Being the hegemon of the oil means that we can continue to print. And right now, we're trying to destabilize the dollar. I think that's Trump's main plan. I've been saying that since his first presidency. He wants the dollar to go down. He won't say it, but he wants the dollar to go down because that's the best way to get out of the debt.
Well, the system
no,
is about to
Honestly,
corrupt
I think
anyway.
no,
that
More
it's
that's
kind
not
of
that's
worse
not the
than
best
that.
way. That's not the best way. That's the way of possible that they got. The only way that possible, and he's not gonna lead the America at the same thing as you see these days. Yeah, it's gonna be a weak US without no depth. You get, so it's not gonna be a power anymore. You know what I mean?
Trump is relying
Dude,
on the
we've
Gentiles to break
always in poverty. We're the goy. We're the goy. All we're for is to buy insurance policies to make sure our dollar GDP stays high, so our fucking dollar can be transferred.
What's
So if our
that
dollar's
from?
transferred, then it's currency, and then we can keep our petrodollar. 50% of our GDP is fucking paper. I completely understand what you're
Yeah,
saying
that's
about like, we're not going to be good. Yeah, that's not the point. We're not talking about for us. If it's for us, we would be kicking Trump out right now because none of this is for us. We're all
so.
too fucking scared.
Let me tell
I'm
you
talking
something
about
Can I
about
please have a
what
moment?
they're thinking. I
rules as
think I
far
know
as
what they're thinking about the dollar and oil and
Can I
shit.
jump
I want to
in
hear what
at
Shell has
all?
to say.
Yeah, I think that it's even bigger than this. I think he's thinking multidimensional in our destruction
Thank you.
as the little people. Okay.
The
So
plebe.
basically, if you want to control a populace, you want to try to look like the good guy. And trust me, I was deceived by this man. Bigly, huge. Okay. But fortunately, God kind of revealed those blinders from my eyes, and I'm grateful. But I'm also one to speak out that I did not see it until it was too late, but I see it now, so I will say it. Okay. So basically, what's
only
happening, and this is what's happening, okay, is that now that he has the power to be an idiot, okay, he's being a big idiot. So if you want to destroy the little people, especially the people on fixed income, that's draining the budget. That's siphoning his money. Okay, so people on disability, the disabled, even the disabled veterans that he's now creating, all of that. Okay, if you want to basically bankrupt them, which is what you're doing, but still be in with the big guys, this is how you do it. You place toxic cesspools in their homes, in their hometowns, but you do it at a profit for you. You let your big like investors go in
can I
and you
stop
put
you?
AI data
Can I stop you
centers.
for a
Let
bit?
me finish,
Oh, that,
please. I don't have
bro,
much time. Okay.
because
So you
the
put
thing you're
AI
saying
data
is just a
centers in
tiny
all of
fraction
their
of
rural
the
communities.
economy.
Put
Is
all of
is
these
not important.
AI data centers in their communities. And then you poison
Oh,
their water and their air and their light and all of
my
that. And then that
shells.
that's a
makes the
tiny
sick sicker
fraction.
and you poison
Shells.
their children and you do all of this. And then on top of it, you put the entire country as a whole in danger to the point where you're probably going to have to draft. You're
Well,
going to probably have to draft because now you've walked into a crap storm over there and you ignited the already tinderbox of the Middle East, which we already knew. We left it like that. We left it like that. We walked out and left it like that. We left our own people over there. If people forget, we did. We did. Okay. And we couldn't get our own people out because I know people who volunteered to go over to try to get our people. Okay.
hmm,
But that's what we did. And we never
okay, now,
fixed it. We say
do
that
you
we
know?
fixed it, but we didn't fix it. We pretended like we
Mm,
fixed it. We didn't.
no,
And
you
now we want
didn't.
to go over and
You
pretend
just
like we're
didn't
fixing it and
fix
we're not
shit
fixing it.
in
We're
the
not
Middle East.
fixing it. We want to
But
pretend like we are, but we're not.
let me tell you something. The things you're saying is
Wait,
just
but
a
I want to
tiny
know what
fraction of
Kamala
the
Show has to
economy. You
say.
know. So well,
I
hold
can't
on.
hear you. I'm sorry.
Let me just tell you something. Yeah, the thing you're saying is just a tiny fraction of the economy. You know, it doesn't matter. That old game is just the GOI game. That's. We have to agree. You
I
know,
know it doesn't
you
matter to you because
it's
you're not one of the people over here getting poisoned
no no
and
no
going
no no no.
bankrupt.
That's a GOI game. I'm not saying it's not important to me. Of course it's important. Yeah,
I
but
know.
I'm
No,
saying
it's
that's a
not
GOI.
important to you. That's fine. It's not important to our president either.
I said it is important to me, but that's a GOI game, which is going to each single country around the world. Yeah,
No, I know. That's what I'm. No, listen. No, you didn't hear me. You
we
didn't
want to
hear
see
me.
the big.
You
We're
didn't
gonna
hear
see the
me.
big
Bells,
picture.
hear
You
him.
interrupted me and didn't let me finish. I've heard you for the
So
last hour and a half. That's
Yeah,
fine
bro,
because
you
I have
was
things to do.
interrupting her,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm
and
my
you
bad,
ain't
my
letting her
bad, my
finish,
bad,
yeah.
my bad, my bad,
Hey,
my bad.
hey,
I'm
hey,
gonna go.
but you know he does care.
I understand, but what I'm
I don't
trying to
Hey,
say,
let
care,
the
her
but
point.
speak, bro. You were interrupting nonstop. I think it's a female voice, so you just keep talking.
So what I'm
Here
trying
we
to
go.
explain is
we was
Here we
talking about
go.
the
something else.
perspective of the people making these decisions have that same perspective. Like, okay, well, this is the expendable population. Put
You.
these poisonous data centers here. This is the expendable population over here in Iran, over here in Syria, over here in Iraq, over here in Afghanistan. It's the expendable population. That's okay. And this is what they do. And until it affects you directly, until you're nearly bankrupt, until your power goes out, until all of your money goes to these corporations that our president went and said, oh, we won't do it, but did do it. Until all that happens to you, then it doesn't matter. Until it happens to you, then it doesn't matter. And it's not important. Until we come together and talk about what's really important, and it's us. And it's us talking about what's really happening and what we really see. And we see through this deception and we tell people what's really happening, regardless of whether we look like those crazy conspiracy theorists, because frankly, we're batting 1,000 right now. Okay?
True. All right, Kamalato,
What's up?
it's your turn.
I kind of
What you got
tuned
to
out
say?
for a minute. What was
I say it's
the?
crazy when y'all be
I
talking
Yeah,
like
tuned
let's.
that.
out.
Y'all
If
still
you wanna,
uphold the
let's
system.
back to the conversation we had now.
Yeah, but we're
'Cause
giving Kamalato their chance.
Yeah. I'm saying like just come back to
I don't think. I don't
the
think
big
it's gonna
image.
come
You
to
know.
nuke. I don't
I
think
say
nukes are gonna. I don't
Corey
think
don't.
nukes are gonna happen. If that you guys are still talking about nukes.
Exactly. That's
Oh, I
true.
don't think,
I agree with
listen,
you.
I don't want them to happen, but I don't think that any other time, and at least what I've seen, or any other time when I was serving the military or my family was deployed, any other president that I know since the atom bomb dropped before, have I ever thought it was possible. But the administration's responsible right now. This is the first time I can honestly say, uh-oh.
It's actual viable
Why is
threat right now.
I say, how long ago they dropped the atom bomb?
It's
you
been
guys? You guys
44.
not?
19.
80 something years.
No, it's been,
More
well,
than that.
80 years. It
90,
wasn't in the 80s. It was in 60
90,
something.
I said 80
44.
something years.
1945 in 1944 actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you?
What?
Why is it? Why
So
is it that you
it's
think
been
That's
It
like
president?
wasn't.
a good
nonsense. It
77,
was 1945, yes.
It was
Why?
77
Why?
45, isn't it? Yeah, that's
to
what I'm
like
saying.
seven,
Thank
yeah,
you.
77
Sorry.
to like
Didn't
79 years, 80
80
years.
years, yes.
didn't
80 something, yeah.
Obama and Biden
Please
airstrike a
stop.
ton of people too? Why do people
I'm
think
about to
Trump's
say,
the only person causing
hold
conflict?
up, hold up.
No one thinks
Won't y'all
that.
wait? Won't y'all rephrase what they did,
Well,
right?
that's what
Y'all
people
don't
really think, though.
hold on. Y'all
I
don't
mean,
think
and that's just
hold
stupid.
on. Y'all don't think the atom bomb was a reset? Like how we had previous resets in our history?
No,
That was
look,
just
the
a
atom
reset for
bomb, when
them.
it dropped in 1945, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right?
It's a lot
Was
of it's a
it
lot
That
of
was
was a
a
reset.
resets
test.
that happens that we don't know of.
It wasn't
So
a
what if that was the
reset.
reset for them? You
A
can't say that
reset
was
for
not a
one tiny
reset.
little blip on the earth in this tiny little blip of the universe? No, sir. Look, it was a test, and they were like, hey, we shouldn't
That
do
was a
this
reset.
because if we
Obviously, it
continue
was
with
a
this,
reset.
And the COVID was the last reset. The COVID was the last reset. Do you know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
So
I
Oh,
believe
so
I
yeah,
that.
believe it was absolutely
but
one. Yes, everything
let's
was different before and
That was a
after.
test as well.
Hey,
No,
It was
can
no,
a
I give
fucking
some
no.
tea on my
reset. It wasn't a
COVID?
we
test. It was a
we don't
reset. They're gonna
Do
try
you
to
know?
reset
Here's a
us.
way
they're
that
gonna
you
test
know that
us
it
all.
was.
They're
Here's
gonna
a way that you know that something awful has happened. And I'm
yeah.
not going to guess your age because we don't talk about that. Okay.
Hey, you,
But here's
I'm
a way that you can tell. Okay.
right.
Is if you know, like growing up, you know
Eyes for
something
ninja.
happened. Like you have something in your possession. Okay. And then suddenly when you get older, they call it something different. And then you can find something, same time frame, same whatever, and they call it something different. Like the Bernstein Bears, for example. We grew up and we know exactly how it was, exactly the way it was, we have the books, we have the bears, we have everything, but then there was a complete shift, like almost like the universe split.
That's when they
Yes,
turned
that's what
on
I'm
the CERN
saying.
machine. That was in 2008.
CERN, that's where I was going. CERN
Before that,
changed so much.
before that, everything else is like basically, it was just basically in like how I be usually saying, America is the biggest terrorist in the world. Y'all might not think that, but we definitely are.
America's
I do.
babies.
I
We
definitely
go
do.
we go into every country. We don't leave after we
We're
invade. Yes,
toddlers throwing tantrums around the world.
we're
Oh,
terrorists.
we've thrown the most.
And,
We've done some
and we
really
throw a
horrible
fit when
tantrums.
we throw a fit
Yeah, no
when
shit.
You
supposedly
got,
when other
we're all
let me
being
finish. Let me
gaslit to
finish.
hate our
We
own
throw a fit
country. Is what
supposedly when
I
other
Nah,
countries
nah. I don't hate my own country. I hate these fucking people who are doing genocide. That's what I
Everybody
hate.
might as well
they're
join
not doing
IRA.
genocide though.
That's
We're the
true.
ones that's doing
Yeah,
genocide.
I know. That's what I'm saying. If we drop a bomb
Yeah,
on Iran, a big one, yeah, I will. Like
that's true.
it's like that. It's
But
it's it's not about it's my flag and all that. Yeah, I love my flag. That's why I don't like this shit. Y'all spitting on my flag right now.
that's true.
Ooh.
But let me talk about something here.
My
So
president is not representing my country at
Agreed.
all. 80%
so
of us
Well,
unrepresented.
I'm
The
not
other
gonna hold you.
20%
Agreed.
Your
just are
president
just
is an
sucking Donald
immigrant
Trump dick.
though.
Sorry to
I'm not
say.
gonna
yeah,
hold you.
And I like you, and I like you, Kamala. You know I do. We talked before,
I'm
but
not
that
saying
that
you
is my opinion.
next. I ain't gonna hold you if you want to get technical. Your president is an immigrant.
yeah,
Chilling.
cool. Yeah, let me just talk about the thing, the economy, like we're talking about the debt collect the debt reduction and all of that. So like people's thinking that Trump give a damn about that, but Trump the only give a damn about the fucking files. That's all. That all he running for at the moment,
Nah, man.
Because
I,
if
I
you
think
see,
That in
that
himself.
overran.
if
Look
you
at
I
the
think
word
he
of
was trying to
peace,
do one
right?
thing, and then
10,
this
mm,
Epstein
$10
shit popped
billion
off.
you tell
funneled it
me,
word
okay,
of
wait,
peace where
hold on.
And
he is
now we in Iran.
Well,
rector.
I was listening to all of you. Yeah, just give me a sec.
Yep.
So what I'm saying, think about it. So he just run the fucking election for what? For not starting the war, and he did. Why? Why you just change your mind? And like the last minute before you just start the war, he still was saying, okay, we're not starting the war. And if you see the negotiation with Iran, was going all right. The Yemeni the Omanis negotiator, which basically was the middleman between the US and my country. They was saying there was already accept to just give up the nukes power. You get. It was everything was going well, but what happened? It was the files released just a week before the last negotiation, yeah. And they think, okay, cool. So what we can do? The government is too corrupt to just defend it. It's too corrupt to just don't start that war. Because if you're not starting the war, what's gonna happen? The whole government gonna go down, and it's gonna be a civilian war. Because the people not gonna accept us anymore, and they want more file to be released. They want the landing on the moon release. They want the 9/11 release. They want the corruption we done release. So they say, okay, cool. The best thing we can do is a big distraction, which is there's two war happen the same time. Yeah? So it was what? So it was thing the Pakistan and India, and it was my country and Israel. Do you know what I mean?
I'm about to say,
So
Ryan.
Yes.
We know the moon landing was fake. This is
It was
what it
not.
Here we
Yes, I
go.
know it was
It was
not.
not fake.
Yes, it was. You can look at that shit and tell it was fake. Who the fuck is recording the nigga getting off the fucking
You go to the
getting off the
moon.
spaceship?
Look,
Who's
you go to
recording
the
the nigga
moon
getting
right
off the
now
spaceship?
and tell me it was fake.
Who's recording the nigga getting off the spaceship?
The other
Who
guy,
is
bro.
recording?
Who's the other
Look,
guy when you see
Listen.
the space when you see the spaceship land? That makes no sense.
Oh my God, who is the other guy recording you right now?
We
Lord,
get distracted.
ninja.
We get
It is
How
fake.
you
again.
You're not y'all
This is fake.
y'all not making this shit is not
Neil
making no sense,
Armstrong,
and y'all not questioning it at all.
Neil Armstrong did say it was, not real. Neil Armstrong did say a couple times like, shit, I never went.
Wait, plug, fuck that. First off, how you
I thought Neil Armstrong was the guy that
wait,
punched somebody about it.
wait.
Nah, that was Buzz, wasn't it?
The thing is, how the fuck
Yes.
is you recording the spaceship landing? How the fuck you get off the spaceship? To record
Neil
it
Armstrong
landing.
confirmed his landing many times.
Y'all do not question nothing that y'all see. Y'all just go with it. That shit is crazy.
It's not even about that. I
How
question
you
everything.
believe any single word of
So how
it
the
now?
fuck you
I don't know
believe the
how you
space
believe.
landing is real if
Because
a
I
person
question
was recording
everything.
the shit?
Question everything and I look into it.
That
How do
makes
I
no
believe that
sense.
you're real?
You
I saw a
just said
telescope in your background before, right?
Who
You know
caused
what I'm
that was
saying?
my mic.
And I thought that
You-
was real, but it
you
wasn't.
thought
Hold on,
the
Leo, let her
telescope was my
answer. You gotta let her respond. You asking her a lot of questions, you gotta let her respond.
I mean,
she said,
kinda, right?
she said she thought my mic was a telescope.
I
That-
did.
That's crazy.
And this is a side
Look,
mission
get up right
argument
now.
too.
Get up and move your chair. Get up and move your chair. Come on now.
In all fairness, I did too.
She did too. She even confirmed it. She was like, "Yeah, he's got to set up."
Cool.
My mic
Look,
Yeah,
is
when you
but
watch
you
the way she said that shit.
What
The space
telescope
land-
is red?
The space
but when you
landing is
sat down, I
definitely,
knew exactly what it was. So I mean, I'm just saying it did look like it.
Thank
Do
you.
you know about James Webb? Do you know about James Webb?
Perspective.
Can we talk about
You guys really
9/11?
don't think that we're not capable of taking a 3-day trip to the moon? We are.
We are
No, we're
absolutely
not.
capable.
We're capable.
And we
Dude,
have done
we're
it.
definitely capable of taking a 3-day trip to the moon.
The moon.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it's
The moon
not
is real.
3 days.
The moon is.
The moon
the
is not
moon
where you
won't
think
be-
it is.
The
It
moon
takes-
is not outer
that's what it-
space. The moon
We
will
have
be in
samples.
our
You
orbit.
didn't, bro,
We're
hold on.
And they will
absolutely
use it.
capable of going to the
There's
moon.
two.
It's just
Because
not
the
that
moon
difficult.
isn't
Let me give you a
real.
two fact, yeah? Let me give you two facts. So the time that there was landing on the moon, there was no continental ballistic missile. You just landed nukes on the Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They went with the plane. You know what I mean? So they couldn't
Wait, what
even
are we
land
talking about?
something
I didn't understand
on
what
the
you said.
Moon landing.
I don't know what you mean.
Nagasaki. And you're
He's
talking
talking
about
about the
like they
moon
land on
landing.
the moon. And also, there's a James Webb. You know
Honestly,
about James Webb telescope?
fuck the moon.
About
You know
what?
about you know about
Hey,
the James Webb
one mic.
telescope? Do you know about the James Webb telescope?
The what?
The James Webb telescope. Just search it right now. The James Webb telescope.
James.
Oh, James Webb. Yes, of
James
course.
Webb. Yeah, cool. So they got quality to show the flag on the moon.
Yes.
Why they didn't release nothing about
They
it?
don't believe any of that. They believe it's all
fake.
fake.
So what?
We're in the Matrix.
That's
Oh
what I'm
my
saying.
God.
So
No, I never said the Matrix. I'm just saying it's just what we've been told is a lie.
Matter of fact, hold
If
up,
you
hold
can't
up.
believe,
Matter of
listen,
fact, wait, hold
come
up,
with me
hold
this
up.
way.
Wait. You can look up astronauts. Matter of fact, that was actually on the spaceship that actually supposedly blew up. You can look them up. They're going by the same names, same faces, and they're just saying there's not them.
All
Look it
right,
up
man.
on
We
YouTube
going
right
back
now.
to dinosaurs right here, bro. Like, let's talk about 9/11. You want to talk about something real?
yeah.
Well,
That
finish
was
this
fake.
statement? Is that
What we
possible?
seen on TV, basically, when a plane hits anything, like how we seen when the plane hit the birds.
All right, YouTube, we finna get
Where
up
the
out of here.
people
Hold
believe
on, y'all.
right
Hold
now?
on, y'all. Hold on. One mic. Listen.
How
All
we
right,
seen the
hold
planes
on. Listen, YouTube, we getting up out of here because they want to talk about some other shit. So join the Discord if y'all want to hear the rest of this conversation because I'm not sacrificing my channel for these folks.